somebody they were giving me a hard time. I'm like, I'll listen to it. Absolutely.
That was before I realized. No, just before I realized. It was like, you know, okay.
Well, it really was when I discovered. It was like different. You know, like I remember I was so into the Clash, so into the combat rock was a huge at the time, but I went out and bought the first album.
I used to do that all
As
the
soon as
time
I
with
heard the
albums.
first album,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is good. And I got hooked to the.
A lot of their stuff was different from album to album.
Yeah, so their first punk sounding album was that. Then I started. Because I'm so bored with you.
I never done that.
I don't have it with it. I'm doing it.
He's enjoying it quite a bit.
Stroke your back.
You enjoy it.
Oh, what's the first 45 for me? But what was the first piece of music?
I actually bought
Yeah, you bought it. You went out.
probably Offspring and shit. Smashing.
Mine was Toto. They're very catchy. You're going to be over 54. Time goes by, let me tell you that.
I'm like 13 years younger. That's
That's a great thing about time travel is time just keeps moving. It's kind of weird, you don't have like people that are 60 actually performing. There's a lot of.
Oh, it's already happened.
Well, Marky died later in the 70s. About there.
There's a lot of bands that haven't been together that have gotten back together and stuff.
You think it's because of the internet?
I wonder if we talk about all the time with the internet or just the way things are, people are just I don't know.
I
A lot of
think it has
bands
something to do with
Because for a long time, punk, it seemed was kind of like, not just happened, just hip hop and all that, and punk itself was like, not there. Now it's like,
Well, yeah, it's easier to find stuff on YouTube.
well, my friend, we're going to
Got
see
red. Well, we got like 1 minute.
Channel 3. What is that? Channel 3. Yeah, bring this up. Go ahead and fucking show me. There's just certain ones I like, and it's like a guy with no, you like, I mean, whatever you think.
Hello, hello, and welcome to a beautiful disaster this wonderful Tuesday afternoon with that abrupt ending there. Let's see. We have Dutchie, the legendary punk DJ, and myself, Kat Monroe. We've got Mr. Elmoy back there in sound, and we got the Anarchists in studio too. And we also have live in studio, Too Tough to Die, a Ramones tribute band for our Ramones Tribute show today. How are you guys?
Doing great.
Gabba
Thank you
gabba
for
hey.
having us.
Gabba gabba hey.
Gabba fucking hey.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Get closer to the mic.
You got to put
1,
your
2,
mouth
3,
right
4.
up on
Instead
it.
of
Yeah.
you moving, why don't you move the
You
mic?
got a French kiss
That's
that
excellent.
shit.
Exactly. Don't be scared of it. Put your mouth right up on it. Yeah.
Sounds great.
Cat likes saying that
I do.
to men. To men. Actually,
Doesn't
to
have to
men
be
and
men.
women, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be men.
Well, that's very open.
Always is.
Open and intimate.
Yeah. So welcome to Chaotic Radio. Kat, have we ever had a fucking tribute band on the show before? I think this is probably the first tribute band we've ever had,
This
right?
is a first.
Because
That's great. That's unbelievably great. I'm glad to hear
it
that.
is, and
We
we'll
are
see
honored.
it. If it doesn't go well after 15 minutes, we'll just fucking kick you out. I guess what it does mean though is we're going to get to play a lot of one of the best punk bands.
The best.
No, not the best. One
The
of
best
the best.
American, I think, for sure.
You think so?
Yeah, definitely.
One of the best.
The best
Yeah.
band of all time ever.
Well, obviously they think they they have the opinion that Ramones are the best because that's a tribute band. So that's
Yeah, right. We're
otherwise you
would
would have picked something else.
Yeah, we'd have
Yeah.
done like
We'd have done the
ELO
Bee
or
Gees.
something.
Exactly.
Bee Gees or something.
Bee
REO
Gees.
Speedwagon, you know?
Did you ever see the Ramones?
Absolutely.
Oh, don't fucking say it like that. I mean, there's a lot of people haven't.
I never got to see the Ramones.
See?
But
Fuck, I didn't
saw
know
the-
that.
I saw some of the
I'm just kidding.
I saw. I might
I didn't
not
know
post
that.
my-
Don't fucking. I moved it for a fucking reason.
Oh,
Don't
alright,
follow it
alright.
around the
I mean,
room, you
that's
cunt.
what-
Jeez, look
That
at
was
this.
kinda
It's
funny.
lucky we're on there. They can
Look at-
see
you can
what
see 'em do it
fucking.
right there,
Go on,
yeah.
watch it.
Oh, shit, there's a delay on there.
Yep.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
means we can.
Distracting.
That's so we can see ourselves make idiots of ourselves. You know.
Yeah, I don't like to look over there.
Yeah, I saw the Ramones. It was great. It was amazing. You know, they were amazing. What can I say?
Just one time.
No, 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were one of the most amazing bands I ever saw live, and I was lucky enough to be at the show at the Rainbow for the album "It's Alive" when that got.
That's the Rainbow in the UK, right?
Yeah, the Rainbow in the
New Year's
UK.
Eve, right?
New Year's Eve.
You were
Yeah.
at that show?
Yeah.
That's amazing
Fucking
footage I've
great
seen from that.
show.
And I actually bought the album straight away, and recently it got stolen. So it was it's sad because it was in pristine condition. Did you go to the Ramones? I'm guessing yes, but I'm going to ask anyway. When they had the Ramones thing down in downtown LA at the
Oh, yeah. The exhibit they had.
at the exhibit.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you
was
see it?
cool.
No, I did
How
not.
was it?
It was cool, man. They had I expected it to be a little bit bigger, but there's some cool stuff in there. They had like some of the jackets. They had like their passports and stuff, and like I think there was like a thing where the listening station where you can like isolate the different
I went.
instruments and
Yeah,
stuff. And it
I
was
went.
really,
Oh, that's cool. That'd
Yeah.
be cool.
I'll
to
show
hear.
you the pictures. I took fucking loads of pictures. In fact,
Oh, you think? I think I remember seeing
the
pictures
towel
of that.
hanging up on the wall out there is from that exhibit.
yeah, and they had the pinhead mask and stuff too.
Yeah.
This is super cool.
So they had a little movie theater in there, and that movie theater was playing the video and the live footage from that show at the Rainbow.
It's an amazing fucking.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best live albums
I think it is.
that I've
for
ever
sure.
heard of from
Yeah.
any band. And so, how did you get into the Ramones? Why the Ramones?
Well, I guess I'll go for myself. I mean, there's a lot of different bands that I personally liked. When I heard the Ramones, the first album that I really liked, well, I was in high school, was Too Tough to Die. But it's very different sound, and then I kind of went backwards and listened to the early material, and well, that's different. Too Tough to Die is a very different album than, let's say, their first album. And when I saw them live, absolutely just blew my mind. That's when I decided, you know what?
What year? Do you remember what year?
Yeah, it would have been probably about 85, 86. Yeah, that's about. It was at
I'm
the
wondering what I mean.
Hollywood Palladium, I remember, and Social Distortion opened up for them. It was great. It was unbelievable because they were good, and I heard them on album, and it sounded okay. It sounded good, but upon seeing them live, it was like, fuck, this is great. This is unbelievable. It was just nonstop. That's what really drew me into actually being a musician and doing my own original projects, and it just gave me the confidence that, hey, you know what, you can do your own thing. You don't need to just obviously I didn't think about doing any tributes or covers at the time, but it was just really the energy. The energy was something to this day. I just remember it was just very
Just like no
just
gaps between the
addictive,
songs.
just the lights and just everything. It was my first real like show, and it was unbelievable. I didn't get to see the band. Another band that I really enjoyed was the Clash, and I didn't get to see them. They were done by that time.
Yeah,
Did you see the Clash, Touchy?
Yeah, I saw them in,
I
in
thought you said
Camden
you did.
Town. It's something that when you mention stuff like that, we talk about quite often. If there's a band coming into town, especially with the older fuckers, right, or the drug addicts bands, which is
The drug addict bands. What kind of bands?
Damn.
the Ramones.
Okay, yeah.
Well, it's just Dee Dee basically on that one.
Go see them because you may never get the chance again. Tom Petty played the Hollywood Bowl only a month ago.
That's right.
And my girl had seen him recently before, I think, and I said, "Are you going? Are you going?" And she's like, "No, fuck no, I'm not this time." And it turned out to be his very last fucking show. And you kind of go, "Wow,
You never know.
You never know, do you?" I mean, I'm not going to go if it's someone I haven't seen before. Yeah,
Well, I saw Motorhead the year before he died, and I was like fortunate. I felt extra fortunate. I got to at least see them that one time.
Yeah.
See Lemmy play, and it was awesome to see them. No, I didn't know that he was that far gone. He was going to be gone the next year, so it was,
he was that
you
far
never know.
gone all his life.
Yeah.
Well, I think,
Oh,
he was,
yeah,
I
that's
think he was
true.
dead for a decade. He kept on fucking
You just and
Well,
that's the
we just
thing.
lost Malcolm Young, AC/DC.
Yeah, yeah.
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
one I
That
wish
was
I
a
would have
shame.
seen.
Actually, that was the first concert I ever went to was AC/DC.
Yeah,
My mom took me to go see AC/DC when I was, I think, in the 6th grade. And
That's pretty cool.
it
That's,
got me
that's
into
cool
rock
of
and
your
roll.
mom.
probably.
I'm liking that.
Yeah, my
that's
mom's cool.
see there, but that's because we think that mums are old. If they're a mum, they must be old.
That's not the case. I have kids, and they think, I don't know. They hear the Ramones, they hear different bands, and I think they find it very normal to hear some of the music they hear.
Yeah, I agree with you. But
Yeah.
when you immediately went, "Oh, well, that's cool." Your mum took you, like
Yeah,
it's
it
your
is
mum.
cool.
What the fuck,
Yeah.
Mums are, grandmas now are fucking rocking it
That's
out.
true.
And we don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
We ain't old
Nope.
till we're dead.
It's exactly
Well, like
right.
if you think about it, like my parents, like they were young in the 1970s, so they were listening to My dad's favorite band was Led Zeppelin, and
That's a
he
good
introduced
band.
me to like lots of good rock and roll. Like the 70s, it like introduced tons of good rock and roll bands. So I grew up listening to lots of good stuff like that. So I was fortunate, I guess.
That makes me old because I was in the 70s then. So you're calling me old?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. Don't shrink back. Just fucking say it.
You're the same age.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay to be old.
Yeah.
Right? It's just not
Only if
okay
you're
to be-
old. I
I'm
am
older
old.
than you are, so I
Yeah,
don't even know
there's-
about being old. Yeah.
You don't look at us.
Ah,
right.
thank you.
But I mean, when you think about it, you grew up in the 70s because you didn't get to discover the Ramones till later.
Yeah, it wasn't until later. So yeah, I grew up in the 70s. So bands I liked. Well, I like Led Zeppelin. I liked a lot of the bands that were doing rock. Led Zeppelin. Who else? As a kid, I remember Styx, Queen, all of these bands. My sister, I had older siblings, so they were into a lot of the.
Oh, so you heard a lot of that with them,
lot
especially
of
with
it.
you said sisters, so you had
they were
girls.
sisters.
Yeah, so they liked all those bands with the
Oh.
boys with the long beat. Yeah.
Yeah, so my
Mhm.
sister was
Yeah.
a big Peter Frampton
Yep, of
lover,
course.
and my other sister was big into Queen. So I listened to all of that, and it was
You had no
cool.
choice but to listen to all of that.
No,
then.
that's all it was.
But that was good stuff. That's good
Absolutely,
stuff. Mhm.
absolutely. And to this day, I like it. So you grew up listening to that, but it wasn't until like I was telling you earlier, when you listen to punk rock and you really start to get an idea for wow, this is it's a real do-it-yourself sort of music.
Yeah.
And I think that's what appealed to me the most. When you can do it yourself, you don't have to have your parents or other people around you to really
Yeah, you don't need
influence you.
anybody to tell you. You just,
No.
you just do.
And
do-
also, yeah, like the style of punk rock, it's like you don't have to know how to be a virtuoso. You don't have to play even solos or anything. You can just play.
look
a
at the
few
Sex.
notes
Look at
and
the
you can
Sex
make
Pistols. Like I said,
Sex
Vicious.
Pistols. Yeah, yeah.
Come on.
Look at the Ramones. It's
That was like
the
an
4
opening
chords.
door. Yeah,
Yeah.
4 chords. But they had something special, and that's
Mhm.
just what
Oh, yeah.
what got them. I was going to ask you about the name Too Tough to Die, but you had already said it. That was the first album that you.
That kind of was it. Well, what happened is, that was the first album that I really heard from them, and honestly, when you listen to the album, I believe Tommy produced that one,
Yeah, he did.
and he was pretty much the brain behind the band. In other words, kind of orchestrating who was going to play what instrument, and he was a very good producer. It wasn't really a drummer when he started playing with them. He just happened.
None of them were. They'd all just kind of learned together, though.
Yeah, so that album was actually sounded really good. Had a really nice sound, and it was different. I want to say it was. I want to say darker. I don't know if that's the best term to use, but a little more. It was different.
Not as up.
Yeah, maybe
as the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't just all California sun. So it was a little different, a little more maybe introspective, a little more about maybe the world in general. And
a little more experienced.
Yeah, I think so. I think it had some Dee Dee material in there, like Bonzo Goes to Bitburg. And
well, also like one of the main reasons you already had the concept for this kind of tribute band when I met you, but it was like
I didn't know if
that era of Ramones is what we were kind of focusing on, was like the lesser known, like more hardcore style of Ramones songs, which was introduced in that album, I guess, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
How long has this band been together?
A year, a little over a year.
It seems longer though,
yeah,
right?
I know, because it's fucking driving me crazy. But it's been about a year. Our first show was in October. I remember where. It was the Universal
October.
Bar and Grill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cool little bar.
Yeah, it was cool. So we did that.
The booker sucks though. His name's Brian.
You can say whatever you
Fuck
want.
that piece of shit.
Well, I mean,
now I want to know what happened.
well, we had to bring your own mic cords. You got to bring your own mic.
And the guy, he doesn't know how to set up a show. He gets like a freaking punk band, then he has a freaking like folk band, and he doesn't even like.
It was a variety show. It was a variety show.
He doesn't pay the bands.
Well,
so
he thought he was Ed fucking
if you ever
Sullivan,
find
apparently.
a guy named Brian, he's booking at the Universal Bar and Grill. Stay far
wow.
away from that piece of shit.
Wow. Wow. All right.
But anyway,
okay, you can
back
say
on
what you
topic.
Wow, this is
Say
great.
what you want.
This
It's
is
internet
great.
radio.
Yeah.
This is
Get
great.
it
Yeah,
out
I'm gonna
there.
go let it out. I don't care.
Wow.
But it was a good first show. I mean, it was like I enjoyed our first show there, and me and Nick actually I was in a Ramones tribute band that played the hits
In Frisco.
when I was living up north in Oakland, San Francisco area. As in a band called the Ramones, and we played like
The Ramones.
Yeah, we played-
That's a good name.
That's
Yeah.
a very good name.
Yeah, because it sounds close to the Ramones, and we'd say we're the Ramones. Yeah, but we played all the hit 70s and some of the hits from the 80s. And then
So you
Nick
played the
was-
more common songs.
Yeah, and then Nick was also in a band called the Rockaways, and then
You're gonna mention them.
You were in the
No, the
Rockaways?
rock. It's,
We were in a
it's
band
fun.
called the
Isn't it
Rockaways.
fun being in the
And it was a good
Rockaways? There's a lot of stuff goes on.
It's
when you're
Rocky in the
They have-
Rockaways.
They have a history. No, let's just say.
I've
yeah.
known quite a few people that have been in the Rockaways.
Well, yes, I know.
Yeah, the turnover's pretty fucking quick.
It's like the menudo of rock and roll. Just you plug in different parts here and there. I did that and did another one called Shock Treatment. That
I've
was
heard
all
of shock
great.
treatments.
Yeah, so that was fun. But that was, what it was traditional Ramones songs.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I went to go see the Gabba Gabba Haze. Great band. They did the Ramones.
they don't do downstrokes though, so they're not the
Hey,
very
man,
best.
Don't start a Ramones war. They're
No,
great.
start a Ramones.
No,
war.
they're-
Ramones tribute band war.
they're
Yeah,
good.
let's
Hey,
do
kinda
it.
like- kinda like
Where's the
Anchorman.
box?
They
Yeah.
don't do downstroke. Did you say?
That's
We-
an
we-
important part of the Ramones formula, though.
I caught them as well.
Really?
But they're good. They do for what they do. They're
Well,
fine.
I saw them at the slide bar. It was great. It was good. It was just very pleasant. It was very pleasant. We wanted to do something that sounded a little more.
That lacks a little edge though.
So is that a thing with the Ramon bands? You all guys try and up each other?
Of course
Well,
I
I don't
do,
think
yeah.
I'm a
I
very
don't think
competitive person
I
myself,
don't think they're trying.
and I talk a lot of shit. So
I've heard them. I don't think they're trying.
So if
very
you talk
hard.
a lot of shit, you got to step it up.
yeah, maybe I.
Yep.
If they come pushing up the shove, maybe I will.
Well, I heard them, and it was good. It was very. It was like my
I
record.
respect
It was
the
like
Gabba Gabba Haze.
Absolutely, thank you.
Yeah.
God, fuck, man. Jesus.
Hey, you asked me to come on here, man.
Yeah.
I don't
this
know
is
whether
true.
to play a Ramones song first.
You can do what
Or,
you like.
I know I can, and I fucking will. That's the great thing about sitting in this chair, right, Kat?
Yeah.
We do exactly. And you know what? Now you said that, I'll probably play too.
You're the captain of this ship.
Yes.
But I think I don't know where to go, where to start though, because there was so much fucking good stuff. I'm going to start with this. I'm going to start with something off the live album. All right. Just because I think the Ramones live is what got them where they,
They were a great live band.
That's
I
what
never
they
got
were.
to see them play live. Nick did.
Yeah, I
I
never
got
got
to
to
see
see them
them.
either. I just saw the same videos.
You know what's
and-
funny? I'm going to tell you this. So playing live, watching them, I had no idea that they were going to become this iconic, group. Right? Who does? But it was unbelievable.
They
That's all I
were
can say.
already at that time that you saw them, though, right?
Well, that's just what I was going to say. You didn't see them until what year?
It would have been
You-
85, 86.
Right, so they were already
But
fucking
nobody I
superstars.
knew really liked them.
They never.
You
did
must have
that.
known a bunch of fucking losers then. They weren't really into decent
Absolutely.
music.
I went to the same high school Fergie went to, so there you go.
And we started the band together.
Get us NickHaddockRadio.com. Beautiful Disaster. It's our Ramones Tribute show. We have Too Tough to Die, Ramones Tribute Band,
And
live
that's Nick,
in
and
studio.
I'm George.
Yep, Nick and George. Yep.
We haven't introduced ourselves yet. That's why I was.
Yeah, you
Is
did.
it Nick Ramone
thought
and
you
George
did.
Ramone or what?
Yeah. Georgie Ramone, Nicky Ramone.
I was
They
going to
always
say
have
Nicky
E at
and
the
Georgie.
end.
Yeah, it's got to be Nicky and Georgie.
Excuse the fuck out of me for that one.
Whatever.
I'm good.
He's the
though.
one that goes to the technicalities, so. Yeah.
Fuck the technicalities. KFuckingradio.com.
There's bad radio, good radio, and chaotic radio. In that order. KRadio.com.
That was two of
I
us.
thought
How
you
were
left.
No, I'm
Oh, that's
here.
right. I told you to stay.
Yeah.
So that was two from the album It's Alive. And I say, I got lucky enough to see him. I don't know how many times. That many times.
How many times did you see him?
I'm going to guess.
You don't
9
remember?
or-
Oh, you don't
9 or
remember
10.
yesterday, so.
No, but there was a lot. Too many to remember. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've seen the Beach Boys and Brian Wilson. It's way too many to fucking remember. You know what I mean? Every time he's in town, I go. And when he was on tour in the UK, because everywhere was so close, I would go to 3 shows in a week, you know?
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's my fucking heroes. They were the same with the Ramones when they played the UK. They would play London, I'd see them there. They would play Guildford, I'd see them there. They played Portsmouth, right? And London was 40 miles one way from me, and Portsmouth was 40 miles the other, and they played in the middle as well. Wow. So, you know, you go and see them that many times. I saw their last ever show. Didn't know it was going to be the last ever show.
Have the Ramones or Beach Boys?
The Ramones.
Oh, Ramones, yeah.
Beach Boys are still playing. Ramones are all dead.
Yeah, I know that. I know that, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Beach Boys I love,
Well,
too.
Marky plays. We saw Richie Ramone. We did. We saw him at the, what was that? The Echoplex? Is that what it was?
Echoplex,
What do you play with? Who do you play with?
What is it? It's the opening. There are some goth bands or something, right?
Yeah, I remember one was called the Tissues. It wasn't anybody.
Oh,
in
the
that.
Tissues were good. I
Yeah.
played
Yeah,
Tissues
yeah.
on my radio
The
show. Yeah.
Tissues,
Yeah,
and
they're
then
pretty good.
another band. God, they were really good. There's one band. I forgot the name. But that was a great show. That was really cool. We got to, you know, what was great. So our fucking guitar player, we don't know where he is, right?
About Rich?
Yeah, Rich. We didn't know where he was. And next thing we know, where's fucking Rich? We're supposed to be at this show. Next thing we know, he's walking up up the street off of what is it? What street is that?
Was that Glendale or something?
Yeah, Glen. Right near the Echo. Anyways, he's walking up, and who is he walking with? He's walking with Richie fucking Ramone. He's like walking with him. Richie Ramone comes up to me and like a mafia gang boss puts his hand on my face. And says, I said, "Hey, we came just to watch you." And he puts his hand on my face. And says, "Good."
Bless you.
Richie was the drummer, right?
Yes.
Yeah, from the 80s, yeah.
Yeah, he was from, I'm trying to think of the first album.
Too Tough to Die until, like, I think, what was it, Halfway to Sanity, which was, like, I think, so it was, like, 85 to, like, 87
All right, so,
or something.
Totally
So-
different drum style.
So this is probably the time I walked out on the Ramones one time.
You did?
Right, and it was when I believe it was when Richie was drumming. If you see the documentary, what's it called, Last Day of the Century?
Oh, the
right?
End of the
Century, right? That tells you that story, and I mean the Ramones. I'm looking at the average live. This is the first songs, 1:42, 1:34, 1:50, 1:33, 1:43, 1:21, right? 1:13. So if you can imagine Judy as a Punk being the studio version probably being 1:30, the live version being 1:13, and then this fucking idiot joins the band, right? And now it's a 45-second song.
He did play fast.
Oh, is that what happened?
He
Yeah.
introduced. He
Too
made
fast,
them.
maybe.
He made them fast.
Like, ridiculous.
And you
Yeah,
walked
yeah.
out because you didn't
Yeah,
like
because
it?
we didn't. No one knew what fucking songs they were playing.
There's a
They were just
fine
going,
line.
Well,
and it was,
And then it was done.
and it was they played Cretin Hop was when we were. That's when we said we're walking
You
out because
can't
we didn't
decipher what
know
it
we
probably
didn't know
sounded.
the song until they went 1, 2, 3, fucking go. That's about fuck this shit. Fuck it. We walked out. It was useless.
I don't know.
I
I can't say I completely blame you. I think they got too fast when Richie
well, I
joined.
get blamed
'Cause
for playing
they're-
too fast often, so I don't know what that's.
I think that the Ramones at their best were at, like when you saw them probably in the New Year's 1970. What was it?
Well,
1977.
1977
Yeah.
New Year's. That was a fucking amazing. That was the perfect time of the Ramones, and you know when Richie joined, they had to add some edge maybe because there was like the hardcore scene of
Too
punk
much
coming
edge.
out, and they wanted.
Well,
to
you
kinda,
know, he was the only drummer to write any songs. That's it. You know that, right? He wrote.
no, Tommy helped write
no,
songs.
No. He wrote. Well, okay, maybe he did, but he wrote. Somebody put
That's
something
true.
in my drink.
I mean, he added his
and
own
he
thing
wrote.
to the band.
I'm not Jesus. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I got a question. I'm not Jesus. That's you.
That's one of their songs.
You've got that, right?
I'm looking
You
at their
play
list
that.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's, and I think I said it to you, and if I didn't, I'm pretty sure I said it to you.
Let's hear it again.
Except for I remember being drunk when I said it, and I don't remember having a beer with you in the last 10 years. Right? Because we go back, we've known each other 20 odd
Yes.
years.
Yeah.
You know?
It goes. Yeah, we go back.
So you play Ramones songs
Yes.
that no one's ever fucking heard of. Even the hardcore Ramones.
No.
Hang on a
Yeah,
second.
no, but it's
Hang
true,
on
yeah.
a second. I haven't
Let's let
fucking
it-
finished. All right?
Finish.
All right. Let's.
And I don't know if it was you I said it to, and if not, here I go. Who the fuck wants to see a Ramones band, tribute band, cover band, who, when you get there, sings songs that you'd, first of all, the majority, I'm going to change what I'm saying here because I can see you getting a little bit agitated. I don't. And you, God bless you, bought me a bottle of whiskey for Christmas, and I
Right.
don't, I
That's
want
a
to drink
valid
it.
question.
should
I
have
don't want to
some.
get fucking hit with it.
It's got a fucking bow on it though.
I even bought a fucking bow.
I know, yeah. That's what I'm scared that's going to hit me
I
first.
think so much of you.
So tell me about that. Why songs that no one really knows like the classics?
Well, for me, it's a matter of the songs that I felt were a little more, I want to call them punk. You know, I liked a lot of Orange County punk when I was growing up, and I felt that Sheena's a punk rocker, and a lot of those typical songs were great songs, unbelievably great songs. However, I felt their later material was a little heavier.
And also, a lot of the tribute bands that do those songs already.
They do them
There's
already.
there's a lot of Ramones tribute bands, but not a whole lot to do the
Nobody does
lesser
what we
known
do.
Again,
hardcore
up
hits.
in the ante with the tribute bands,
Yeah.
right? But you got to do it. And you have to do it. And not everybody else is doing.
Well, kind of the idea is we want to open for established punk bands, right? And the idea is if sometimes when you pair the music of the Ramones, whether it's Surfing Bird or Blitzkrieg Bop, which often you're going to hear that in a stadium. You're going to go to Dodger Stadium or wherever you like to go. You're going to hear it. You're going to hear these anthem-like songs, but we want to play something that sounds punk, And I think a lot of their songs, they did sound punk. They just
a little harder punk.
exactly.
Not like we were talking, the darker punk, not
Right.
necessarily the happy-go-lucky.
Exactly. You know,
Bebop.
exactly.
But sometimes we like the audience. We'll play some. of the
Not
hits
so
for
much
'em.
pop punk, right? Less
Right.
pop punk.
Exactly. So we do. I mean, we do infuse the set generally with about 3 to 4 songs of their old. But we try to pick songs that are
Is that just to keep them staying? Do you
as
play?
they're walking out.
That's
we
just what
try
I was gonna
All of a
say.
sudden you change. Wait, Sheena
As
is.
we start to throw $20 bills at the audience.
No, I tell you what, you got some balls to do that. You know, to put yourself out there as a Ramones band and then play stuff that's not generally known.
But it is
You
the
know?
Ramones. They're still playing the
Still the
Ramones.
Ramones, yeah.
Well, you know what? And then the added benefit. How's this? This is the epiphany. So we played a show around Halloween. We played it in East LA. A very young audience. They fucking loved it. And what
They
I'm
probably
telling
went out and found these songs because now they realize there's more songs besides the ones that they always hear on the radio, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So they hear this and they're, wow, that's a Ramones song. Either worst case scenario, they think it's us making this fucking writing these songs at home.
And we're doing songs that even we're doing songs even the Ramones never played.
They never
live.
played I'm Not Jesus.
Yeah,
Not
I
at
don't
all.
think
That's
they
that's
did.
I
the
wonder why.
Why don't we play I'm
Ah.
Not Jesus? I want to hear it.
yeah.
What's
yeah.
it called?
I'm Not Jesus. What's the number? What number is it?
Yeah, somewhere in
The
there.
last one. So this is you playing it.
Yeah, this is us. You know, it's live. It's at the 5-Star Bar in downtown LA. And, you
I
know,
was just there. I absolutely love that bar.
absolutely.
I sent Dutchy pictures from when I was there. It's
Yeah,
a
with your
good bar.
antlers out.
We didn't
Yeah,
fuck
my
up on
antlers,
this one,
my
did we?
antlers. Yep.
I don't know. You might fuck up here and there, but you know what? It's live.
I would hope you wouldn't put any songs on there that we fucked up on. So
You listen to chaoticradio.com, a beautiful disaster. Dutchy, the legendary punk DJ, myself, Kat Monroe. We've got El Moy back there in sound. The Anarchist is walking around somewhere, and we have two tough
Drinking
to die,
$1
but-
beers, right?
Yeah, drinking $1 beers all day long.
He stole my girl's beers and he felt guilty, so he said, $1 beers. No
Yeah.
problem. I got you covered.
Putting dollar
He
bills.
didn't go for the well drinks, the Budweiser.
No.
Can't blame him. Do you
No.
boys want a beer?
yes, I'll take one.
All right, you know where they are?
Yeah, the fridge, right?
Or we have El Moy back there now. He can get them.
Oh, look, she's putting him.
You're so
she's
very
putting him to
right.
He's
work.
bored.
Yeah, this is like English hospitality in Southern California.
Is that what it is?
Yes, it is.
chaoticradio.com.
Give us a call, 909-360-8330. If you haven't downloaded the app, download the app at the Play Store.
Chaotic Radio Live is the YouTube channel.
Yes,
we are
on
streaming
YouTube.
on that as well.
You can see us at 3 different angles.
Yeah, it's cool. Love it.
The camera that you can usually see my butt on is broken.
We'll stand on the table. think it's it.
I'm a guy. I tell no tales, I do not lie. I'm a guy. In around my head, too tough to die. Main attraction in a freak style show. Down in the basement where the cobwebs low. On my left leg, just to get in by. In around my head, too tough to die. Rainy days, rain cool wine. I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine. I swear on my lips, I feel like going out someplace. Too tough to die. Too tough to die. Too tough to die. Too tough to die. I'm a guy. I tell no tales, I do not lie. I'm a guy. In around my head, too tough to die. I'm a guy. I tell no tales, I do not lie. I'm a guy. In around my head, too tough to die. Up late at night, my chocolate sweet. Down in the gym where the muscle boys meet. I'm a very nice guy, very sincere, in real good shape. I have no fear. At the concert, when the band comes on, I'm in the ring where I belong. On my left leg, I'm just getting by. In around my head, too tough to die, too tough to die. Oh, too tough to die, too tough to die. Oh, too tough to die. I'm a guy. I tell no tales, I do not lie. I'm a guy. In around my head, too tough to die. I'm a guy. I tell no tales, I do not lie. I'm a guy. In around my head, too tough to die.
Too Tough to Die, and that was the Ramones. And previously to that, we had I'm Not Jesus by the band Too Tough to Die. And you're right. I was listening to the song to I'm Not Jesus that you guys did at 5 Star Bar. It is more punky. So when you say you wanted the more harder, punkier stuff to go with the bands that you want to play, like DI and The Adolescents and bands like that,
Sure.
then the songs like I'm Not Jesus is going to go a lot better with that than Sheena's a Punk Rocker.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think
When
there.
I heard that, I got it. It clicked. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So you're not going to be able to. It's very hard to translate, California Sun, which I love.
Yeah, it's a great
I love
song,
these
but
tunes, but it's.
I work with a lot of punk rock bands, and you're right. That would go really good to open up with a lot of these
It's
bands.
a lot of bubblegum pop from the '60s.
It's
and
not
they,
as
they
poppy.
juiced it up.
So
Right.
this whole list that I have here on this CD, are most of them songs that are like that?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, one fave that I have on there is probably like "Bop Till You Drop."
Yeah,
came
no,
off-
that one's not really.
Yeah, that came off of Halfway to Saturday.
And we went the airwaves. If you,
Yeah, that's kind of like the mid '80s, right?
but I'm curious about this other stuff because I'm not really familiar. And so, you're right. It would open like for DI or Adolescence or something that the Jesus song would be a lot better than She Is a Punk Rocker.
Yeah, it will. And,
So to get the crowd primed for the
so
band.
you're gonna have to
Absolutely.
you're gonna have to understand where I'm coming from on this, right?
Let's understand this.
Because see, it's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a
Where's
fight.
the
right?
gloves? Where's
Let's
the
do
gloves?
this.
Woo!
You're
I love you,
You're the
Dutchie.
first. You're the first tribute band we've had on the show,
Yes.
right? And not only are you a tribute band, you're a tribute band to one of the best rock and roll bands of all time,
Oh yeah.
right? So my point is all along is gonna be, right? You're saying, yeah, great, that'd be great to open up for DI. It'd be great, but you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't want to go and see a band who open up for DI. I want to go and see a band. I'm
That sounds like the
specifically
Ramones.
going. Not that sounds like the Ramones. That are the fucking Ramones.
You're not going to see
Right?
them.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen, though.
And I know that you mentioned all the names of these other different bands, and if you look around the walls of the station, you'll see at least 3 posters with bands, Ramones covers bands tribute bands that I've played
I
with.
see a Ramones sticker on the
Right.
door right here that I never noticed. until
Yeah, I
today,
got that Ramones sticker at
Yeah.
that exhibition in LA.
It's spelled right. It's great
Right.
too.
But-
R-A-M-O-N-E-S.
It costs about $50 probably over there.
I think there's more than that. But when you're as rich as we are, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we make all this money.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
So no, my understanding, I understand what you say, but if you want to play that, then why are you a Ramones tribute band? If you want to play Orange County style, hardcore, old school punk, why would you be a Ramones tribute band? That's a great question.
Well,
It is a great question.
that is a great question, but I think we're going to reverse that.
So excited.
You want me to take over on this one?
You know what, George, go ahead.
Are you slurring? Have you been drinking? Did you have
It
that
sounds like
whiskey?
you're slurring your words a
There's
little bit.
something,
Slur in my words.
besides Coca-Cola in that cup.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
that's
great.
what I thought. Uh-huh.
So there's not too many tribute bands that play
Absolutely
hardcore
not.
punk that play Ramones hardcore punk. And it's like you can't have the Gabba Gabba Haze open up for the Adolescents, or you can't have
You
the
can,
Rockaways
but
open up. You
you-
could,
You can.
but it's gonna be maybe too popular for the people who are going to that show. If you want something more edgy, more like fast and furious, you might want to go for.
We
Too
don't
Tough to Die.
stop. We basically play, 20 songs like in 30
We play 20
minutes.
songs in like 20 minutes.
We don't stop. We don't stop. We do exactly what the
They do
Ramones do.
like the
We
Ramones.
punish ourselves.
I want to hear the rest of these because I actually like that idea of and people probably go away going, wow, what song is that? I got to go find that now. You're digging up like the Ramones songs that haven't
Yes.
really been heard. They're
Yeah,
like
that
doing
the
like
Ramones on your
Adonis.
You're
podcast.
lucky. She's so on your side.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
so
I am.
fucking
I
lucky.
am.
You
Cat
can't.
Monroe is
But
the
you're
best.
but you're bringing out the big
No,
big
this is
answer.
good.
Yeah.
Dutchie, you know what? This is what you get the big bucks for. So
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
good
why I get the whiskey for Christmas.
Good cop, bad
absolutely
cop.
right here.
Yeah,
So
but,
let me-
it's good.
I'd like to hear. Right, tell me if you couldn't tell me Ramones albums that these are wrong, because I'd like to find them and listen to
Play
some of the
too.
original.
Yeah, me
Well,
too.
Because
Absolutely.
not being funny,
I know-
your
I know these
recording's not
songs.
your recording's not the clearest. Is it?
While George
What we
looks
got?
at that, let me
It sounds
tell
like the Ramones live at
Okay.
CBGB's in 1971.
Maybe that's the sound they're going for.
So it looks like these songs that Nick compilated on this burn CD. has got-
Copulated. Did you say? He did.
We got
that was not
Calculated,
that was
yeah.
not very exciting for me, by the way.
we
good
want
Lord.
the airwaves, which is on the album called Pleasant Dreams.
Is
which
that
a-
right?
Yeah, Pleasant
He's
Dreams.
like a Ramones encyclopedia.
I'm a Ramones
over here,
encyclopedia.
yeah.
That's
I'm
the reason why I
glad.
play bass. It's like
I
a
love
beady
George.
Ramones. Bop till you drop.
He has
I
a
think
really
was,
horrible fucking temper, just so you know.
I no.
No, because I'm interested. I'm so fucking interested. And just like she said, you know what? When you fuckers leave, I'm gonna fucking
me
research
too.
the
Well, you
Ramones
need
like
to.
I've. What the fuck I need to,
And
fucker?
and hopefully
I
the
got the
20
best of that ever was, and I got to see him that many times.
Let me tell
and
you.
the reason that people didn't go and see him in '85 is because they weren't fucking good in '85.
They got
The
too
reason
fast, maybe.
people
I don't know.
walked out was because of that. And fucking Richie Ramone's not a Ramone.
Oh my god! You saw?
Damn.
Is Marky Ramone paying you? Because Marky Ramone is definitely
Marky
on that
Ramone's been here
bandwagon.
before, though.
He
He's been
does
around.
not
Actually,
like
I
Richie
saw
Ramone.
Richie Ramone live. No, I saw CJ Ramone live.
Yeah, Marky
No, I
Ramone
don't
does
know
not
which one I
like.
saw.
Marky
Some
Ramone
Ramone.
beefs it really hard with Richie Ramone. He does not like the fact that he's a Ramone. That's strange, right?
Who?
Yeah.
Marky does not like Richie's.
Yeah, because he
involvement.
says he's
Remember,
not a real
He's more
Ramone.
loose
Well, he-
and stuff. Yeah,
Right,
or
we
something,
called
I
him
don't
a studio musician.
fake
that was
Ramone?
a hired gun.
I don't
but
think he
I
was a
don't
fake
believe
Ramone,
that.
though. He
No.
wrote songs for the Ramones. He added his own style, I
He
guess.
wanted fucking T-shirt money. He wanted money.
At
That's
the
it.
time.
That's it.
T-shirts never look the same without the four.
Well, look how many people
Yeah.
buy T-shirts now. He
He's
wanted
no
a piece
Tommy,
of that.
that's
He
for
wanted
sure.
a piece of that action,
Children.
and they refused to give it to
Children
him.
buying Black Flag shirts and Ramone shirts. They can fucking die.
Yeah, well,
It's hilarious.
I can't stand people who wear the Ramones shirt and don't know about the Ramones.
well, they're not gonna.
They don't
Yeah.
know we want the airwaves. What the fuck are they thinking?
Yeah, this is like
Yeah.
you can go to Hot Topic, right? If you have,
I do got a hot topic.
daughters.
Don't knock
Right,
that.
They're
right.
always in Hot
They
Topic.
always got discounts over there. 50
Yeah,
for buy
exactly.
one, get one half off. T-shirts.
It's we call it a BOGO in the retail world. a
You're
BOGO.
listening to chaoticradio.com, a beautiful disaster. It is this wonderful Tuesday with Dutchie, the legendary punk DJ, myself, Cat Monroe, Elmoy back there, and Sound the Anarchist is wandering around here somewhere with that mohawk. And we have Too Tough to Die. the
So what we're
Ramones
gonna
tribute
do is
live
we're
studio.
gonna play We Want the Airwaves.
That sounds
Okay.
great. I love it.
The original.
Right? Yeah, not theirs.
Yeah,
Not
ours is
yet.
shit.
Not
play,
yet.
play the fucking Ramones one.
No, we're gonna.
I mean, that's why we're here for these 20 people that are listening right now to do some research about the Ramones.
That fucking hurt right there.
They want
That
to go
got me
research
right
about
there.
the Ramones
They can watch live on YouTube too.
and watch us live on
Well,
YouTube.
both of them.
But watch out, you
Yeah,
might get
all two
you
people.
might get unsubscribed. There's a bug or something in there.
There's a there's a
Wow.
What the fuck? ChaoticRadio.com. We want the airwaves.
It's raw, it's uncensored, it's live 24/7. It's chaoticradio.com.
Chills. I'm friends with the president, I'm friends with the pope. We're all making a fortune selling that is dope. Sitting here in Queens, eating fried beans, wearing
We're a happy family. That's the Ramones. And previous to that, we heard Airwaves. We had great conversations during the songs.
Not me. I was listening to music.
The music was good.
I can't remember what we were talking
I
about.
can't remember either, though. Yeah, but
I
we
put
had
my
a lot of-
headphones on because I heard enough shit from them already.
We're talking about Hogwarts and shit. That's
No,
like English
Hogwarts,
people.
yeah,
you know?
English people. Wow.
racist.
That is racist.
Don't be jealous. Don't be. We all know everyone's
Wow,
jealous because
I
we
think
got
that's the
the
first-
English accent and
That's
shit.
the
Yeah.
first racist English thing I've heard. Hogwarts.
It's a little
I know,
jealous.
yeah.
It's a
They
little
got the
jealous.
Beatles over there. They're awesome.
My little girls think that every person from England
It's
is
from
into
Hogwarts?
Yeah.
Didn't
That's
most Americans
funny.
think that the Ramones were English
Some
at
of
the-
them
at
did.
the
I
big-
did when I
idea.
was 10.
at the
Really?
beginning?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because they were huge in the UK and no one in the States had heard of them until.
Yeah, we're stupid here. so.
No, it's
I-
not.
no,
It's not. It's just.
I did because a lot of the bands that I heard of when I first started listening to punk when I was maybe like 11, 12, and a lot of the bands that I heard were from the
Were
UK.
British, yeah.
So that's why you assume when you're that age, then you realize no, they're not.
And also, Joey had kind of like in the early days, especially, he had like kind of a British accent in a way.
That's a
like,
Jersey
on
accent.
the
That's the East Coast.
yeah.
It was not Southern California accent, I guess. Like,
Well,
that's
well,
what
you know,
they
and
said.
it's funny
And back
because
then, you hear a different accent. It must be English, right?
I never fucking heard that, George. But all right.
He is kind of. They were definitely influenced by bands like the Who and the Beatles.
The
and bands
Who,
like that. They were
definitely.
definitely into the British
Yeah, that's
invasion
true.
kind of stuff. I mean, the pop influence was from England, I think, more than America. Beach Boys was American, of course, the influence of that. But
I think more than the Beach Boys, it was the whole surfing scene with the Ramones. I mean, they took a lot of or a few of the old surfing songs and done them, and then Sheena as a punk rocker almost sounds like a collaboration between the Beach Boys
it's a beach,
and
punk
a
rock
punk
Beach
band.
Boys.
You know,
yeah.
They had a good surf scene over on the East Coast, so they had that kind. When I went to New York and I visited out there, I realized that, and that's where the correlation comes. Yeah, they did have a surf scene on the East Coast.
Yeah.
They did. They did surf in New York.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Where?
had no idea.
Where
Okay.
there's not a
Jersey,
fucking
Jersey.
Jersey.
I think
New York.
Dee Dee Ramone surfed.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, and
See?
he's
Really?
fucking in his mind when he was fucking high as
was
a
also-
High
kite.
as a kite.
He was
maybe.
also a fucking rapper, so I don't know what
He did rap.
What did he
That was a
do?
good rap album.
What
though. I
rap
kinda
was
That
like
was an amazing album.
He did
Dee-
a rap album?
Dee Dee King, absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you didn't know? We'll play some.
Funky Man.
No, you're joking
No,
with
no,
me.
we'll play some.
Yeah.
Let's play
Seriously.
some Dee Dee Ramone rap stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
No.
it's actually great. Funky Man is
That's
an
a fun
iconic
album.
song.
He
you know?
really did rap.
Absolutely.
It's not a donkey jacket rap, right? Did
No, he.
I like what's
Cat,
that
but
song?
we will play some. Well, you'll see it.
There's
right
a song
there.
called German Kid that he did. It was pretty. I like that song, or like that one that's all
Cat.
too much to
It
drink.
was useless.
Dee Dee
fucking
King
terrible.
had a very.
So it might as well have been a donkey jacket rap.
No, but what I'm saying is, if you're influenced by certain Ramones people, right, you'd like it just because it was Dee Dee Ramone.
Uh-huh.
Dee Dee Ramone also redid nearly every fucking Ramones greatest hits song and fucked it up.
Really?
He
I
was
didn't know
doing
that
no.
either.
Would you? Yes or no? Yes or no?
well,
I wouldn't say he fucked it up. He just did them.
He didn't have a voice for it. He's fucking useless.
That's pretty
punk
harsh.
rock, man.
He
just-
did write a lot of
he
those
just
songs on
did
his
it.
defense.
Oh
Absolutely.
no, don't get me wrong. Dee Dee
Yeah.
Ramone was.
He's no
wa-
Joey in the vocal
No,
department,
but when he left the band, and CJ Ramone came in and took his place, right?
Mhm.
Was it CJ or Richie?
it was CJ.
It was
CJ,
CJ, right?
CJ, yeah.
So CJ Ramone came in and took his place, and there's a great story. CJ Ramone was on Chaotic Radio with on the Black Lung Show with Ryan.
Ah, he was here.
Such a humble
right,
guy, man.
he was.
That guy's awesome. He
Do you know
reaches
the
out.
guy was in the Marines?
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and
yeah,
at the
another
time,
story.
at the time he was in jail when
Yeah, he
when
went
the
AWOL, I
audition.
believe.
Yeah, he did.
I had no idea about that.
Yeah, I was listening to the show. It was a great fucking show,
And he was the first person to audition when they were looking for bassists,
and he got the job.
and he got the job out of 100 people or something like
And
that.
he only knew one song, and they said, "So what song do you want to sing?" He went, "What song do you want to do?" And he went, "Why don't we just do this one then?" It was he said
The only
"But
one
they
that
were-"
he knew.
No, he was the. They asked him, "What song do you want to do?"
Well,
Well, those are
And he
big-
went, "Well, why don't we do that one?" And they went, "Yeah, okay." And they said he fucking nailed it. They went
Yeah.
after the one song. All right, you got the job.
and those are big shoes to fill too. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's
Dee-
a very cool
Dee-
dude, honestly.
Dee Dee, he wrote a lot of songs. He didn't have the voice of Joey, and obviously he was trying to do those Ramones hits later on.
well,
and he
originally he was the singer. Originally of the Ramones.
originally Joey
He
was the drummer. If you want to take it way
There
back,
you go.
I might be wrong. He has a headstone at Hollywood Cemetery, right?
Correct.
Yes, I was
Yeah.
there. Yeah, Becky
and
and I went
Johnny
there.
and
yeah.
Dee Dee.
We went.
Douglas.
One of them's only buried there. One of them's not. One of them's just a headstone. One of them's buried in the East Coast. I can't remember which one it is.
Yeah, I don't know which
Because
is which.
we posted a picture and someone's like, no, he's not buried there. It's just his headstone. But I don't remember which one it is. Yeah, I didn't know that either until afterwards.
Johnny's the one that's got the big old bronze statue in there.
Yeah, that's way to go see it. And there's I can't even think of the names. There's other musicians now. Oh, the one that just passed away from the alternative grunge rock guy. I can't remember.
Oh
his name.
yeah, the guy from Soundgarden.
Oh, Tom Petty.
Chris Cornell.
Chris Cornell is right. Chris Cornell is right next to.
What the fuck?
Oh, they're very close.
Yeah, good lord, Dutchie.
Wow.
No, Chris
Only you could laugh at the dead, Dutchie.
Chris Cornell is right next to him. He's right next. It's pretty cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
next to Dee Dee or Johnny?
Johnny, the big bronze one.
Yeah, the big old
Yeah.
statue. Okay.
And there's picks and cigarettes and everything left there. Yeah. I'm being serious that you
But
trying.
the funny
Yeah.
thing is, when you go to the Hollywood Forever Cemetery where Johnny and Dee Dee are buried, you go to Johnny's grave and there's like a few things on there. People leave some trinkets, but if you go to Dee Dee's grave, that's just a nice, humble, just
Just
a
leave
headstone.
drugs.
No, there was
There's
more
lipstick
Johnny's when I
marks.
went.
There's like
There were
picks.
lipstick marks there.
Like people don't kiss on Johnny's statue, maybe because they respect the
Are
majesty
you
of
really
the statue.
judging them upon like how
No,
much
but there were kiss marks all
Yeah.
over it. Yeah,
adoration
all over
their
the little
graves
the little
get, or
headstone.
what?
I
Yeah.
think Dee Dee had more respect on his
Well,
humble
Dee Dee wrote a
headstone.
lot. Dee Dee was a freak.
He was the one who wrote all the
Seriously.
like most
He
of
was
the
a
On
weirdo.
songs.
Johnny's, there were cigarettes and
awesome.
picks and like
You-
weird stuff
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
And Dee Dee was one of the first white rappers. Most people don't know.
Right
I mean, that's the
before
thing.
Eminem.
He was before Vanilla
you
Ice.
know, before Vanilla Ice, exactly. You got the funky man. Dee Dee was amazing.
No, like in the fucking Standing in the Spotlight was an amazing album.
Well, he did the Crusher
amazing.
on that
It was like
album, which
it's
was
like well,
redone
actually, I'm not
later.
gonna say it's amazing. It's like when you watch like a movie like The Room, or like
That's
like
an
Troll
amazing
2.
album. That's an
It's like
amazing
it's like
movie,
the
by
equivalent
the way.
of that in like an album. It's like a so bad it's good album.
God,
That,
And I
that's
give him
coming
props
out
for
pretty
that.
soon in the movie.
Like a
by the way.
pug, so ugly
Yeah.
it's cute, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at the titles of these
Nice
songs on
doggy.
here and all these the songs that aren't normally played by tribute bands, right?
They're not. No.
You won't
And
hear,
you were
won't hear
telling
any
me you
tribute
were
band
telling
doing
me
music.
during one of the songs that you often have like the hardcore fans that come in and they'll tell you, "Oh my God, we hear that song. We haven't heard that song
Yeah.
in forever."
Yeah, exactly. We get it.
So that's cool about that. And you're probably sending people out to go hear new music they haven't heard too after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go out and listen to it. I mean, halfway to sanity. I mean, to some people might be a shitty album, but I thought it was great. There's a lot of great tunes on there.
There are some good songs.
You know,
on
you
there.
just have to like understand. Well, this is the difference. There's the Ramones on album, and then there's the Ramones live.
The Ramones were more known as a live band, I'd say.
Absolutely.
But
That's
those
where
first four albums were people love, and they're great albums. After that, they were a live band, and I think they were just making albums so they can, because their job was to tour, and they got to make albums when they're still around. And they did make some good songs.
Well, I'll tell you this. I listened to the Ramones a lot when I was like 12 or 13. I remember I was in high school, and there was a teacher, and he would call us pinheads, and we knew he was talking about the Ramones. There was a big accident, big earthquake, and the school I was going to at the time had fallen down. And when we came back after they built it, they put on the chalkboard, "Welcome to Rock and Roll High School." You know, so that's the kind.
awesome.
Yeah. So I heard, but now I'm going to go back and research all these old songs.
Yeah, it's different. There's a lot of different tunes. A lot of great songs that I think your typical Ramones fan will find. What was it like from Halfway to Sanity to Brain Drain to
We
Adios
do
Amigos?
some of those songs from the songs
Yeah.
off those albums that we like, that many people don't often hear or like. Actually, it makes us kind of seem like an original band in a way as a tribute band,
Right.
Because
Just
people
to
don't know
walk
these
out of
songs.
there.
We come up on
They
stage and we're
think
like,
they're
Ah, fuck,
yours.
that band was
Yeah.
amazing. They
and
had
we'll tell
some
them that they're ours
amazing
if they don't
songs.
fucking know. So
We do
We
do
go,
original
"What-
projects.
So when are you going to do the Ramones stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Uh-huh.
Hey, I don't know what we're going to get when I hit the button on it, but we have to go to commercial, so I'm going to play a Dee Dee Ramones song. You probably already know what it is. It's Bad Little Go Go Girl.
yeah, it's a
Right.
good one.
Then we're going to commercial. Then we're going to get a beer and some wine, and we'll come back.
So I got time to have a
More
smoke, I
wine.
guess. Huh?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Is it Wacky Backy? Probably, right?
I will
That's
not
real
say on the
tobacco.
air,
It's
but
real.
cracky backy maybe. Okay, yeah, that's kidding.
You're yeah.
ChaoticRadio.com, beautiful disaster. We'll be back in just a bit.
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, come on, now come on. When you bump and grind, I just can't help it, girl. I get mean things on my mind. When you do the monkey, when you shake your behind, I get quivers up my backbone, shivers down my spine. That little go-go girl, can't control it, girl. I got one thing on my mind. When I see you this way, when I see you like this, shake it now. How about a kiss? Bad little go-go girl. 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 She go-goes all day and at night she rocks around the world.
Don't let that guy you call the boss interfere with your entertainment. Chaotic Radio, chaoticradio.com.
There's no stopping the critics from our bedroom. You gotta keep it beating for all the hot critics. Free time. Gonna go for a whirl with my critic girl. My feet won't stop till the critic hopper. Free time. One, two, three, four, critics wanna have some more. 4, 5, 6, 7, all the critics go to heaven. There's no stopping the critics from our bed. You gotta keep it beating for all the hot critics. Green time. Gonna go for a whirl with my critic girl. My feet won't stop till the critic hopper. Green time. 1, 2, 3, 4, critics wanna have some more. 4, 5, 6, 7, all the critics go to heaven.
Cretin Hop by the Ramones, and you're listening to A Beautiful Disaster on chaoticradio.com. Dutchie, the legendary punk DJ, myself, Cat Monroe, El Moy back there in sound. We got the anarchists walking around, and we have Too Tough to Die, Ramones tribute band, live in studio.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow,
There we
that
go. That
sounded
was
good.
awesome. That was
Great.
good.
You've done
Practicing that
that,
shit.
You've done
That
that,
was
before,
perfect.
Georgie
A couple
Ramone.
times.
Yeah.
That's
You
about
do
as
that
high
a
as I
lot.
can count. But
So we were talking.
What did you take us to commercial on?
that was
I don't know.
Dee.
Oh, that was Dee Dee Ramone, Bad Little Go Go Go.
That was okay. I didn't.
It was all right,
It wasn't
yeah.
really. I didn't really care for it. Yeah. Sorry, just saying.
What's Didi Ramone?
That was him right after his rap thing.
He was on
Is
drugs.
that what that was?
You should see his videos.
It was
Did you?
kind of boring.
You gotta see his videos of him rapping.
I'm
It's
gonna have
Yes
to.
or no?
Yeah, those are some
Unbelievable.
entertaining videos.
I'm gonna have to.
Oh, it's
go-
like one
doesn't-
video, I think, though. It's like, what is it, for Funky Man?
Funky Man, unbelievable.
I'm already like a little bit obsessed in my head with that because I'm gonna go home and as soon as I get in the
You
car,
got
I'm gonna
to.
Google it because that's just.
They just re-released Dee Dee's rap album last year, I think. It was Standing in the
I
Spotlight.
don't know why I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Is
I
that
don't
the
know why
name
they
of the
A
album?
lot of
re-released
people
it.
haven't.
That's the name of the album.
I think
right?
we should like nobody's done a tribute to
Yeah,
Dee
why
Dee.
don't
you do his
rap?
We should do his rap one.
Isn't there a
I know the
tribute up
words.
north that did it or no?
Are you serious? Is it a tribute to
They did it
Ramone
for a
rap
Halloween
band?
show, but it
Oh,
was like,
okay,
yeah, that
alright.
wasn't fucking permanent.
You said there's a Brazilian tribute band.
Oh, absolutely. They're called acid eaters. and
Why are
they're-
you
they're-
promoving other tribute
Well,
bands?
fucking
Well,
they're
all
great.
over the world, I'm sure.
Oh,
I'm sure, like
great.
every country probably has one.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one in
you
Russia.
Think you think we're the only one, or what's going on over
There's
here?
No,
one
I just
in
don't
Russia?
I don't want to commercialize the other ones. I
No, there's a
wanna
Russian one called Stay in
focus on us.
Pants, and I played them on my Thursday show, and they actually do. They're called Stay in Pants. They do a decent job.
Okay.
Yeah, acid eaters. They do what they do is they do the late '90s Ramones. They do it fast. They do it. They got the wigs. They do all that stuff.
They dress up. And you guys
Absolutely.
don't dress up to fit
No,
like
we
them.
don't. No, we got George Ramone over here who does Joey and Dee Dee's role all together. So he plays bass and sings, and he's unbelievably awesome.
Yeah,
you.
you got to be good to pull that off.
Yeah, and
It's fucking hard.
Nick has to be good to pull off those drums because that drum style of the Ramones is
You know
very
what? Let me-
pinnacle kind of, or it's like an important part
Let
of
me
that
tell you
formula.
about the drumming there, because you know what? A lot of times when I hear the Ramones drumming, for all you drummers out there, it sounds very simple, very basic. It is not. There's a lot to it. They play 16th notes on the hi-hats, and to have a basic beat is very difficult, especially when you're used
With
to
the
playing.
16th note.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
it's very difficult.
rapid fire on that hi hat. Well, it's
Yeah.
like it complements what everyone else is doing on the guitars because it's downstrokes.
Right, and what that does, I mean, it's pretty unique when you hear the Ramones and they go on and on about it, but it's true. You hear Marky, especially now, it's about downstroke, and he talks about a wall of sound. Well, what is a wall of sound? Well, it's basically when you got downstrokes and these 16th notes, you don't have any pauses. You have this incredible, wall of sound, right? Just going and it doesn't stop. And
Is that
Driving
why they
force.
sound so better live? So much
absolutely,
better live, yeah.
when you hear it on albums, yeah, it's great. These are good songs. They're poppy, they're catchy. But when you hear them, you hear the stuff live. It's just it's altogether different. Johnny Ramone, he played downstrokes, and if you watch them, they got to hang their guitars kind of low, right? That's one thing I remember reading about C.J. Ramone when he first started in the band is that I think he said after his very first show with them, he had to ice his wrist because it was so intense. Having to play
The
down.
carpal tunnel syndrome from
Absolutely.
playing drums.
Right, so having to play the downstrokes, on his guitar down,
guitar,
down
yeah.
right, down, like that. It was very, very difficult.
And
I
you
know
gotta have that thing low because, like, if you have your arm straight, you only have to pivot your wrist. You don't have
So
to
there's
pivot
a
your
certain
whole arm.
technique to playing
It's a-
Ramon
there
style.
is.
absolutely.
Some people think it's easy because it's 4 chords, but it's like the
It's
technique of
not.
it is difficult because you have to keep hitting those notes downwards, and it gives it that sound. And they don't take any breaks in between the songs, so it's
So it's just
relentless.
constant.
Yeah,
Constant. And it's a whole deal. I mean, I saw a really good Ramones tribute band, and anyway, they didn't really exactly do that. And I remember asking the drummer afterwards, "What do you do?" I was interested as a drummer myself. And he started saying, "Well, I kind of cheat here and there," and that just really just put it in my mind. Well, I can't cheat.
You
I-
want to be exact like
Right,
how
I
they
want to
were.
be exact. Right,
Same technique.
Exactly. So I actually, for $3, I went on Amazon and bought the Marky Ramones video on how to play drums. And
I don't
Oh,
know
he
why,
does
but I
have a
think that's
video, yeah.
amazing that you
Three-
actually went and paid for
Yeah.
that and to learn it.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
that yet, though.
yeah, it was
personally.
$3. Very well spent.
I did get some of his pasta sauce, though. Marky Ramone
He
has
has
his own.
pasta sauce?
Absolutely.
Marky Ramone's got his own brand of pasta sauce, and it's pretty good.
Is it good?
Yeah. Well,
No, but it's from the Ramones, so it
It
was.
was,
It's gotta be good. It's
it was
gotta be
Marky
good.
Ramone. He had brewed those tomatoes in Brooklyn, New York, on the fresh Brooklyn tomatoes. You gotta have that.
Yeah, it's great. So yeah, Marky's a pretty interesting guy.
Yeah.
All the Ramones. Well, he's him and Rich are the only two living. Am I right?
Well,
George?
yeah. Well, the original members are all gone. I mean,
Unless you mention Clem Burke, who played for like one
that
show.
guy doesn't count because
Elvis Ramone.
he was
Does he
only
not
on
count?
2 shows and he sucked. So it's like
Really? I heard he was horrible.
When was that? What year was that?
that was I think
That was
before
in
Richie.
between Richie and Marky. So Marky had to
so
come back after his
that must have
drinking.
been
We're
80
talking Clem
80
Burke from
84.
Blondie.
Blondie. Yes,
yeah,
sir,
from
yeah.
Blondie. He called himself Elvis Ramone.
Yeah.
And
He was
That's
horrible.
stupid.
He was
Stop.
horrible.
you could find actually
They fired him.
They have audio of that show that he played with them
was
online, and it's
horrible.
bad.
What do you
I-
think of the periods? Because it's difficult to ask a Ramones or any cover band questions about their music because you're playing someone else's music.
Right.
So when you look at what the Ramones did and you get all the period where they did the Acid Eaters, and then actually probably way before that was when they hooked up with Phil Spector.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And that was
End of the century.
and that was a ridiculously different. That was what 1980.
80. Yeah.
That was a totally different Ramones sound that was totally taken over by Spector. I mean, the guy had a very, very distinctive fucking sound as a producer.
He also had really crazy hair.
Yeah.
and he liked to shoot women.
Yeah,
I think
that
he
too.
killed a chick. Yeah.
Yeah, shooting
I think
women.
he killed a
always-
few.
He might kill a few. Yeah.
Society has a few things they frown on, and usually shooting women is one of them. Yeah, Phil Spector, I believe Rock and Roll High School was on that album. Am I right, George? You're like
Well, they
my,
did a version of Rock and
historian
Roll
over
High
here.
School on that
Yeah,
album.
George is good with
Yeah,
this.
he's fucking
Georgie
great.
Ramone
Well,
knows
Ramones
what he's
are my
talking
favorite,
about.
so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play a song just because we played with a band on Saturday night that played old rock and roll covers.
Which band was that?
Well, Jack and Peg.
Oh yeah, Jack and
You
Peg.
know,
love
and I
Jack
remember
Peg.
when Acid Eaters came out, it actually introduced me. The majority of these songs I didn't even fucking know because they're American old school songs. So
Oh, that's right. You had different.
like,
point
Have
of
You
view.
Ever Seen the Rain? I'd never heard the song Have You Ever Seen
Where
the
the
Rain?
fuck were you living?
I thought the Ramones
living in
wrote
England
Have
or
You Ever
something?
Seen the
He was
Rain?
in England.
We were
yeah.
living in
was
England?
Yeah.
We were in a fucking bomb
and then-
shelter?
and-
What happened?
Right, and then when you sing Have You Ever Seen the Rain, you go every fucking day, fucker. What are you talking about?
Got some here too.
Ramones bastards.
And all the joys will be guys, don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Wouldn't you love somebody to love? You better find somebody to love. Tears are running up and down your breast, and your friends, baby, they treat you like a kiss. Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Wouldn't you love somebody to love? You better find somebody to love.
There's bad radio, good radio, and chaotic radio. In that order.
I saw her today. I saw her face. It was a face I loved, and I knew I had to run away, yeah, and get down on my knees and pray that they go away. Still it begins, needles and pins, because of all my pride. The tears I gotta hide. Oh, I thought I was smart. I stole her heart. Didn't think I did. But now I see she's worse to him than me. Let her go ahead. Take his love instead. And one day she will see just how to save it. And get down on her knees. Oh, that's how it begins. She'll feel those needles and pins hurt her, hurt her. Why can't I stop and tell myself I'm wrong? I'm wrong, so wrong. Why can't I stand up and tell myself I'm strong? Because I saw her today. I saw her face. It was a face I loved, and I knew I had to run away, yeah, and get down on my knees and pray, yeah, that they'd go away. And still it begins, needles and pins, because of all my pride. The tears I gotta hide.
Something.
No, fuck that. Fuck
Something
that.
just
Shut the
happened.
music
What
off.
just happened?
Shut the music off.
Something just happened.
Wait, what happened?
He's
I
just
don't know. That she didn't take the shot, but something happened.
I don't drink whiskey. I don't get whiskey drunk. I save that for other people.
And you stopped the music.
Why? Let's go.
Because
There was an argument.
we're not a cover band.
You are a cover
No,
band.
it's a
A
tribute.
tribute band looks like... There's only fucking 3 of you.
Band. Okay, this is
What,
the
what, are
deal.
you a Ramones band with a dead member?
They have a ghost
No,
in their
that's
band.
right. We are not a tribute band. We're a legacy band.
That's what Georgie said. Georgie
we're
said they
gonna
were a
change
legacy
the whole
band.
deal.
I've never heard of a legacy
There you
band. Are you the
fucking go.
first?
we're paying tribute to the legacy of the Ramones.
What are the, what
No,
are
you're
the-
not. You're covering Ramones.
We're covering the legacy of the Ramones.
Do you dress like them?
I do.
I wear leather
I
jacket.
don't
You
have long
don't.
hair though.
I wear leather jacket.
This guy looks like he's got a beard and shit. So
He
I don't-
looks
doesn't
like
look
Marky
a
Ramone when he
I'm
became a
fucking,
producer.
Beardo Ramon, you know?
You're the
fucking ZZ Ramone.
ZZ.
You
No,
have
but-
the remote on your arm.
Yeah, I got Joey on my
He's
arm.
got a tattoo on his arm. That gets him like
How-
bonus points on
It's
this
a
game,
bad-
right?
it's not a good
Yeah,
tattoo,
yeah,
though.
I know.
Cover band plays a lot of
It's
songs from
it
different
doesn't
bands.
even look like Joey Ramone.
Yeah.
There's
you got
another
cat
cover
face.
band. There's another cover band
I only
out
paid
there.
$50 for it.
And you
though.
guys know who I'm talking about, where they wear wigs and they look like them.
They're called
Yeah, yeah, but that's a
what,
co-
Gabba Gabba Haze.
Well,
Yeah, Gabba Gabba.
There's,
me
there's
tell you.
another one. There's 2.
so a cover
Rockaway.
band plays a lot of different songs, right? Well, we don't wear platforms. We don't wear platforms to elevate our stature. You know, George.
What you
here-
trying to say about him?
You know, I'm trying to say
Who you
that
aiming that at?
nobody in
Say it.
particular. Nobody in
Gross them.
particular. Absolutely not.
Well, maybe we don't look exactly like the Ramones, and we don't have four people in the band.
But we capture the formula of the Ramones.
There you go.
We have
That's
like
like a
gaps
formula.
between the songs. We play downstrokes. We play fast, like the Ramones.
What happened to the argument? You stopped the music because you were arguing.
MC
Because he's claiming, he's saying, and he said through this, he said, we're not a fucking, stop calling us a fucking cover band. We're not a cover band, we're a tribute band.
What's the difference?
Okay, so we don't play a Cyndi Lauper song and then transition to She Needs a Pump. You play all Ramones.
Oh, because it's all the same band.
Exactly.
There are going to be cover bands that just play the
A cover
Ramones,
band will
right?
generally play different songs from different artists. That's it. It's very
I'm
simple.
always back there. Our new engineer, I'm always back there shaking his head. This is when you need to speak. If you have an opinion, turn your microphone on and speak.
And we do our own original project,
Wait,
so
I
it's
can't
not
hear.
like we're, like horrible musicians and nobody loves us.
I know, I get
Wait.
it. But let's first of all introduce
This
him.
is Elmoy. This is our new engineer. The anarchist has been running around. He's helping him out today.
I like that guy.
Yeah, Elmoy's great.
I met him.
So he's back there shaking his head while you guys are talking. I told him he's got to speak.
No, I was shaking my head at him because I agree with.
Okay, first of all, you
The
gotta
guy.
get
Who's him?
you gotta get your mouth up on it. There you go. Ooh, yeah, like that.
This is Nick.
That's Nick. I'm George.
I agree with George what he was saying.
Yeah, George is smart.
You know, there's you could be a cover band of just playing one group song, but what I understand or what I've always heard about a tribute band, you dress up, you try to emulate the band.
Well, he's saying that that's not what they are.
Yeah.
Well, we don't dress up.
So how can you be a tribute?
Yeah.
If I walk in a bar and it says there's a tribute band, don't tell me the name of the band, right? But I shouldn't hear a song. I shouldn't fucking know the name. I should walk in and you tell me it's a tribute. I can't fucking know it's the Rolling
I
Stones.
get it.
How about we got a fucking banner with that?
Well, I'm actually
It
going to
doesn't
go along
count.
with what you're saying, actually, because it's
Like, we're not exactly a tribute band because we don't look like the Ramones. We're only three
And there's
piece.
three of you, yeah.
So,
But-
so we're a legacy band.
We're a
Is that what it
legacy
is?
band.
All right, I like
Because-
that.
because
legacy.
Because we're playing the Ramones formula, we're doing it right, but we're also looking like ourselves in a way. Even though I dress in the tight blue jeans, the T-shirt with the sleeves
You
cut
look
off.
really good, by
It is
the way.
pretty
Thank you.
Ramones. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
pretty. When you came in, I'm like, it doesn't look like the Ramones, but he's still pulling off a style.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
throw
Dee
a
had
little-
short hair for a
Throw a
while.
little jacket on, spike your hair a little bit. It's all good. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Ramon. What
But
the
we're
fuck?
like we're
Georgie.
paying respect to the Ramones. We want to carry on the Ramones legacy. Is
There
what
you
we're
go.
trying to do. Because
Where do
the
you where do
Ramones-
you get to see that? Nowhere.
Every other bar.
Every
in
other-
No,
Southern
you don't.
California.
You don't. You
But
hear,
you don't hear these songs.
No, you're gonna hear rock.
You're not
lady.
gonna-
You're
Yeah.
not gonna hear songs like "I'm Not Jesus" and the other
Hell
songs
no.
that
No,
nobody
you're
knows about.
No.
So
not
when
fucking-
tell me where and when you're playing so I can go and see the other bands.
Well, we are playing. we are playing a benefit show. This is great for the homeless
Love
folk.
benefit.
in
you want to
downtown
slow
LA.
down. You're looking a little bit drunk. I'm scared for you. I'm worried
I
about
wouldn't
you.
be scared.
This guy's
I'm
driving.
I'm
too.
your friend.
Oh,
No, it's
good
okay.
No,
Lord.
then you
No,
can't
no,
get
no.
out. No, you can't. You cannot let him drive.
Was
I have
this-
to legally.
was
I have to
this-
say
was
that
this
live
full
on the
when
air.
Was this full when they came in?
I don't know.
It might have been. I don't know. It's all good.
Oh, that's like the band that mooned the camera.
you
and
drink
threw the
all that?
bottle.
No,
No,
no.
don't be
I
stupid.
believe our
That's a lot.
sound engineer.
You got a
helped us
family
out.
and kids. You can't be fucking around with
You know what?
DUIs,
I've done
dude.
my deal. They're good. no,
It's not
they're
that
fine.
kind of thing.
No, I know. At least we know he's not driving. So anyway, where were we?
Oh yeah.
We're talking.
He's taking selfies.
Oh, we're talking about the show we have coming up. It's December 22nd.
Yes, the 22nd. It's
The
for-
money
benefit.
goes. The money of the 20 people are going
Yeah,
to
it's
come to see us.
called
We're gonna go to help the homeless,
Chaos.
apparently.
Chaos Riot and Run 2 at the 5-Star Bar
I love that
in
bar.
downtown. Right, it's an amazing place. Downtown. What is it? Downtown LA.
December 22nd.
December
5-star
22nd.
Oh,
bar.
it's Christmas time. Right
Exactly.
there, right on Christmas.
It's the
Friday,
best time
Thursday
for
night,
benefits,
Friday
yeah.
night.
We're
Yeah.
probably going to do some Christmas classics. Jingle
So
bells,
what is the
Ramones
benefit
stuff.
for? You said for the homeless?
Right, it's
Merry Christmas.
Do you bring
I
money or do you bring
don't
clothes?
wanna
you can
fight
bring, I believe it's canned goods and some like socks and different things that
Warm
homeless
stuff.
folks-
It's really just
Right,
going
exactly.
to me because I'm homeless.
Chonies.
Just kidding.
They always need chonies.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what? And that's you know,
Chonies keep you warm.
absolutely. That's you have to.
Long
But you know what?
johns.
Those people need some. They need assistance. They need a little bit of hope, and anything we can do to
Hope.
assist them, you know, we're down.
They need
definitely.
Ramones is what they need. And we're going to give that to them. It gives them hope.
Lord.
Wow.
It warms the heart, yeah.
It warms the fucking cockles, that's for sure.
What is it? I'm trying to see.
So,
here.
anyways, don't get boring on me. Get off your fucking phone.
your
Oh no,
fucking
I'm trying to
phone,
read
man.
here. It's called People Assisting the Homeless.
It looks like
That
they're-
is the name of the organization.
So is the people coming along to help
That's
you,
not
or
what he's
you're
looking
helping
at.
them?
It
Well,
looks
right,
like
right.
looks like he's watching people fisting the homeless.
No, no.
Oh my god! Why don't we hear some more music?
This is kind of diverted in a different direction, but you know what?
Yeah.
We're all about helping people who need help. you
That's
know?
right. Helping everyone who needs help, whether it
Absolutely.
be mentally, physically, monetarily.
Yeah,
You
and
can fuck off
I know-
monetarily, right?
Yeah, man. I know a lot of mental people, and absolutely can get some help.
You're mental.
So one of the songs that you had on your disc, and the only reason, and I say this straight out, the only reason we're not playing more of your own disc is because the recording is.
Our shit.
Are
It's
they
just
all
not.
live?
It's not good enough for someone listening on the radio to listen to.
Well, he made a point though. He said because they're a tribute legacy cover band, they can't really record.
No, we can't. We can't record. We can't really.
It'd be
You can't go into a studio and
Absolutely
record. No.
not.
I would
no.
not want to.
has
It's a
to
waste
be-
of time because the
Well,
Ramones
actually,
already did it.
we did some songs at the Redwood Bar. It sounded pretty good. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
it's not gonna be
Are
recorded
these all from 5 Star?
No, the first 4 are not. That sounds pretty good. Like We Want Their Ways, I think sounds pretty good.
But I'll be
I feel
honest
fine
with you,
about
I
that.
would rather listen to, right? And this is not because, I want to come see you now you've been in the studio.
Yeah, me too.
And
I appreciate that.
I'll swing by, have a beer, listen to 2 songs, and then I'll see where I'm going.
You won't see a Ramones band like us, so that's for
You're
sure.
not gonna see it. It's not gonna happen.
We are the only
One
ones
of
who do the bands
one
that
of the
nobody wants
songs
to hear.
one of the songs you do is "Bop Till You Drop" from the album Halfway to Insanity.
Halfway to
to
Sanity,
Sanity.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna try and do, because we're already coming up on 5:30, is drop a few of the original songs that you do, the original Ramones, to see how different they are
From the classic.
from the classic.
Good idea.
Yeah, it's
Because
great.
it really does interest me, because I was, we talked about it earlier. You asked me, did you like Sandinista? No, I didn't.
Yeah, I loved it.
I did later in life. I do now.
Yeah.
Same
but
with me. I didn't like it at first when I first heard that album.
And I mean, I grew
3
up.
albums. I loved it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't like the third album. The first album. Oh, you mean it was a triple album? Yeah,
Right,
sorry.
right.
But the first Clash album, the second Clash album, and then London Calling came out, and I was like, wow, it's kind of not the fucking punk Clash that I want to wear.
Yeah, it
and
wasn't.
I went off them. I didn't just straight out say fuck the Clash. I just kind of went, that's not really the Clash that I want to wear, because there were certain songs that came out, fucking Bank Robber,
Love that song.
White Man and Hammersmith Palais,
Absolutely.
and some singles that I fucking loved. But overall, there were songs that it just wasn't the Clash.
But they
That-
weren't
and-
even exactly a punk band in a way. I mean, they were
Right.
branching off and doing other.
Well, they
Right.
got Mikey Dread on board, and things started changing.
And then the Ramones were different. The Ramones just kind of faded away for a while, you
And
know.
also, the Ramones kind of kept to their style. They never.
Yes, they did. When
they
I
never
listen to
kinda
this,
branched, yeah.
when I listen to this, I kind of go, yeah, you know what? So I'm interested to listen to this. Bop Till You Drop.
Yes, chaoticradio.com. Beautiful disaster. Too tough to die live in the studio.
Bop till you drop. Bop till you drop. Bop till you drop. Bop till you drop. No matter what you just can't stop. Bop till you drop. Bop till you drop. Stick 'em up. Give me your money. You act like a big shot, but you're really a dummy. They want your blood, they want every drop. Bop till you drop. Bop till you drop. Hey! You tried and tried, but you're a flop. You're 35, still pushing a mile. No time to dive through the pretty high. Bop till you drop. Bop till you drop.
chaoticradio.com, Animal Boy, and that was by the Ramones. And we have the tribute band, Too Tough to Die, live in studio. You were just saying, Nick, in the commercial that they would not play that song. What are you talking about?
Well, a song like Animal Boy is pretty intense, right? So, you know, if you go to tribute bands typically play like
The pop.
Yeah, they're going to play the pop stuff. You know,
You're going to play the greatest hits typically, right?
absolutely greatest hits. And these are great songs. Don't get me wrong. They're greatest hits for a reason, right? Like Blitzkrieg Bop, Sheena's a punk rocker, Judy's a punk. But, you know, there's another side to the Ramones, and that's all we're trying to do is just show, hey, you know what? There's another side. Kind of like when they came out with Poison Heart or Pet Sematary. It's kind of a little bit of a darker Ramones sound, I'd say. And that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to just expose people, you know, to that different side of the Ramones. And for the most part, when people hear and we get to play in front of live audiences, they love it. You know.
Yeah, see, that's why I mean, at first, I'm going to be honest right now. When you first said tribute band, I'm like, we don't have tribute bands in here. How's the show going to go?
no.
How's it going to work? But now that, like, you're opening me up to a whole bunch of other Ramones that I haven't really given a chance to listen to.
But the thing is, they're different than most.
They are, and that's what's
so
cool about it.
I think you would be bored if you had a tribute band who came in here.
That's what I was afraid of. I told the anarchists on the way over here, I said it might be boring because it's a tribute. I'm being honest.
No.
That was one of the things I actually asked
Honesty
her.
is great.
He was like I don't because there's a million Ramones bands, but you guys, this is what I like.
We played with this band, the Winding
love this.
Frenzies.
Well, all I know is there's somebody I told in a different Ramones tribute. I said, you know what? I want to do these songs. And I explained to them
The
kind of my
tribute band you were in before?
Yeah, and I
Okay,
explained to my concept, and they said, nobody does that. And I said, that
Exactly.
that just kind of
exactly.
reaffirmed my idea. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? We're going to do
But
that.
that's what sets you apart.
Absolutely. So we decided, you know what? Let's do that. And, you know, George is unbelievable because, you
Georgie
know,
Ramone.
because playing the bass and singing vocals is, I'm sure Dutch, you know, is very fucking hard. I tried doing it myself.
Even
It's
sing.
very
I play a
difficult.
little bass, and I was trying to sing. It's like worse than chewing
Right,
gum and
so
walking.
It's
Yeah.
like rubbing your stomach and patting
No,
your
it's
Yeah.
not
I've-
doable for me.
Right.
It
So
is until you play a Ramones song.
So I played guitar and sang in different groups, you know, back in, you know, decades ago. But to do it as a bass player is very difficult. And so I definitely, you know, have a lot of respect for the guys I perform with. And we're, like I said, we're a three-piece, play with George. And, of course,
Do you ever think of doing it, turning it into a 4-piece? Or you're happy doing what you're doing?
We've toyed with the idea, but we do a different kind of style
Georgie,
of Ramones.
put your mouth up
Oh,
on it.
sorry.
Get your
Yeah, we
mouth
toyed
on
with
it.
the idea of doing the 4-piece, but we're doing a different kind of style of Ramones. We're doing songs that Ramones didn't even.
I think
perform,
George
so-
just wants to split. Whenever we do get paid, he just wants to split it 3 ways and not 4 ways.
Yeah, I want to get more money.
I think that's
We're all
his.
about the
He's
money.
a greedy little
Yeah,
bastard.
he's fucking greedy. He's like Johnny over.
It's all about marketing.
Yeah, so I think that's
Yeah,
his
15
big-
bucks split 3 ways. That's
Yeah.
right.
Right, very better than
That's fine, but
Well, no,
4
okay.
ways.
Yeah.
Now this brings up a question I had for you guys. Okay,
What's up?
as a tribute band, does it pay gigs? Like I know when you're doing original music, it's hard to go to play shows and actually get paid to do so. So as a tribute band, do you find it easier to do so?
Well, I can answer that quickly. So when I played in this other tribute band, we played classic Ramones too. Man, I couldn't believe it. We made $2,000 at a casino.
Are you serious?
$2,000. Okay, so this was an epiphany for me.
At
You
a
won't make that in an
casino.
At a
original band, that's for
casino.
sure.
Played out in where was it? 1,000? What was it?
Out
place?
in the
29
desert, right?
Yeah, 29 Palms, somewhere out there, right?
Oh, Agua Caliente. Huh?
Yeah, so it was way out there. So, you know, I made, well, you know, 4 please, I made $500. It was great, right? However, what I didn't like was I was playing to, you know, let's just say,
Fucking grandmas and what?
yeah, they were like in walkers. They really didn't care about the music. So there wasn't a lot of gratification from playing that kind of a.
You don't need
Of a kid.
gratification. You
Yeah,
get
no, I-
As long as you got the money, you're good.
You can the next night you can go back to your gratification and getting paid fuck all.
This is the thing about a musician, though. In the end, you know, you want to believe that what you're doing somehow is, you know, making people feel, you know, up or somehow
Or down.
maybe
Maybe.
maybe a little of both. But so,
They're
you
in a
know,
casino. They're losing money.
Yeah.
Them losing money puts them down. But them losing money gives the casino $2,000 to pay you. Be happy.
That's fucking great. I even got a free burger out of the shit. So it was unbelievable.
This version of this Ramones tribute band's not going to be playing
Yeah,
casinos.
so we're not
probably.
playing a casino. So I wanted to play something that felt a little more punk, a little more real, and you know, this is great. You know,
Oh,
we
you
had
didn't
a
want to
great
be a
ride.
novelty.
And
Right.
yeah, I played in a Ramones hits band when I was up north, and yeah, we made more money than
What was the name of the band?
That was the Ramones.
Yeah, we
And
talked
like
about
that
that.
name.
Yeah, yeah, and I was I had an original band at
That's
the time.
actually pretty clever. I
The
like that.
Ramones,
And
yeah.
we made more money with that cover band or that tribute band than we did with my original band. So yeah, I mean, if you're playing tribute songs or cover songs, whatever the fuck it is,
But bookers
You're gonna make
in
more money for
general, man, I tell you what, it's hard to find people that are very, what can I say? They want to share. There are certain venues that I've come across that
Oh,
you know
everybody
what,
wants something.
They'll pay you, and they want to do what's fair. But others, man, they just run out. They just run with the loot, and they just don't want to like look at you.
Yeah, I know a couple. I won't say their name.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
Brian.
Yeah, no.
No fucking shit.
Does
It's okay. You know what? It's okay. It's
Are you
okay.
guys
That's
married?
what show's for.
Are we
They act
married?
like it, right?
Yeah, we're
What's that?
married. We went
Married to the
we went
band.
to Boston and we got married. Is that when you need to go nowadays or no?
I think that was before it was legalized though. But
Oh my God. Okay, so you guys have other bands, right? I hear Georgie Ramone here has a band called Electric Carlos.
I'm in a band called Electric Carlos. I just joined up with.
They're really good.
Yeah, they're cool.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
they're
go.
good.
What kind of music is it?
It's punk rock.
Okay, send me MP3s for my Thursday Look What Cat Dragged In show, which is DIY unsigned punk reggae,
Yeah.
rockabilly,
Yeah, they're weirdos.
And
man.
if you
They're
want to see
fucking
this
total
fucking weird
weirdos.
out punk band, we have
I'll book you too.
we have a
Yeah.
homeless chick in the band who does a back.
She's the
she
go-go
sing-
dancer.
She's a go-go dancer for
Yeah.
the band. She's a
A
homeless chick.
homeless
Look
go-go
at
dancer?
the
Yeah,
anarchist
I'm
is-
sold.
The anarchist just gave the fist pump for the homeless
Yeah.
go-go dancer.
So we support the homeless in this band.
That's
Electric
better than
Carlos.
Bridget
Oh
the
my
Midget.
God.
We give them a
Oh.
purpose, and we have a show coming up at the Offbeat
What'd you do?
Bar.
Tell her, hey, I got a little job for you.
Do you give her a tip?
Yeah, well, she doesn't have to suck
we're
dick
not
for a
gonna
night.
talk
No,
about
just
that.
Why? Come on, Kat. We haven't talked about fucking fighting and drinking on this show yet.
We haven't, huh?
Wow,
Yeah.
that's an
That's gotta be a
unbelievable. That's a
first.
horrible
We've
show.
been drinking.
And there's
though.
2 bottles of bourbon on the table.
No, there's one.
No, there's 2.
It's
like
one and a
half.
quarter, one
That's
and a third.
my fucking Christmas present.
And there's
That's
a
it.
half
That's
quarter of one
Dutchie's
here.
Christmas present.
You don't touch my fucking
I'm
whiskey.
not touching your
He's still
whiskey.
got the old tagger on it. Hasn't
And
even been
Nick,
touched.
you're the band.
Yeah, it's called Lay Valentine's. Fucking unbelievable.
With his,
kind
with his wife, and his wife is amazing.
Is it my
songwriter.
wife? I don't know. Is she my? Am I married?
So
to
you
her?
are
Oh
married.
yeah, you're kind of fucking weird about that. Like,
Yeah,
talking
I'm
about
a
your
little
family, huh?
strange about that. Yeah.
You're married only in certain times.
Yeah, only when it's convenient, I suppose. It's great. It's good stuff, you know. It's
Like the anarchist over there likes that one. He's
I
like,
wonder, does
I'm gonna have to
being
find
in
out how
a,
that
in a
works.
being in a legacy Ramones band,
I love that.
right? Does it get you, bit of like, bit
Not
of,
me. Fuck no. This guy maybe. I don't know.
no, he's the singer and the bass player.
Yeah, he's the singer and the bass player. I'm the drummer. We're like
Why do
whatever.
chicks always go for the singer, man?
I don't know. They have
I
so
don't know
much
because we're up
charisma.
front, up in the
So
front.
much
doing-
charisma. Look at this guy.
How long's the band been going?
Is it
What?
1 year?
1 year, I guess.
Fuck man, I feel like
So
I've
how
known
many?
you
I
for
asked
10.
that
Hang
when
on
we
a
first
second. I
started.
haven't forgot a very, very serious question related to that. You've been going a year
Yes.
With this project.
with this project.
Project sounds so official.
It is official.
Yeah.
So being the singer and the bass player, and you've been going a year. How many times have you got laid from being up on stage with this band?
his
He pleads the
girlfriend's in the
fifth.
next
I got,
room.
yeah. Only by
What
my
the fuck has that got to do with it?
only by my girlfriend.
Good answer.
Best answer in the world, right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I look out.
Yeah, that's really good stuff, George. You're a smart guy. I was hoping you weren't going to answer elsewhere.
Is the CD from this band that I just put in your band? Is it called Early and Raw?
Is it called what?
Early and Raw.
No.
From the Ramones?
Oh, you know what? We put music in from these bands. It comes up as different names. We've had German bands come up.
So
and
no,
that
I'm going to
one
play.
was
There's 3 tracks on it, right?
Yeah, Lay Valentine is a great band. You have a lot of great tunes. I think they're great songs.
nothing,
it
nothing
says-
to do with tribute cover or
No, this is
legacy
original.
bands.
This is original. It's kind of grungy, kind of 90s. It's kind of, it's a little. It's
And
a
then we
little-
got-
Death Centric is the name of the band.
And
What-
then,
The
Electric
album is
Carlos.
called Early and Raw.
I have no fucking idea.
We're
what
going
you're
to play the
talking about.
first track off the album. It's called Society's Horse.
I have no idea what you're talking
You
about.
gave me a fucking CD.
Well, that's
I
not
just
what
put
I
it in.
there.
That's what happens. We had a band come in and all the names came up Set Blasters. All the names came up German for the German
Yeah,
songs.
this is called Der Himmel ist blue.
All right, let's see if it's Society's
Der
Horse.
Himmel ist blue and the Sonne
no,
scheint.
it's called Spoke, right? The first one?
Yeah, Spoke is a great song.
Lay
Spoke.
Valentine. This is Nick, your
This is live in Moscow.
Bullshit.
Chaotic Radio, because the rest is just a waste of time.
ChaoticRadio.com. A beautiful disaster. And that was Rockaway Beach. I've been to Rockaway Beach.
Have you really?
That was the fastest I put my headphones on and started talking
Didn't I
about
take
the
you to
show.
Rockaway Beach?
Was the
that
other
one
one?
time? Oh,
You both are very professional.
sometimes.
And you both are very.
We're very something.
No, but we were talking in the break, and I do like that you guys do the different songs. Like you were saying, a lot of the younger people,
I love it.
because that's not their mom's. Sheena's a punk rocker. That's not their mom's.
It's not dad rock.
It's not dad
No.
rock. It's not dad rock. Yeah.
No, we get the tunes and we turbo them a little bit. We make them faster. All right, makes them a little more interesting. They
And
love,
the kids probably
We
love
just play the
that,
faster
yeah.
ones.
yeah, they love it. You know, we play the faster.
I was going to say, do you speed them up or do you just play the faster ones? Because there's a big fucking difference.
No, I speed them up.
Right,
To be
because if
honest
you
with
speeding them up, now that makes you even less of a tribute band.
well, I speed
Because
them
now
up.
you're deliberately fucking up someone else's
Yeah,
song.
yeah,
And
I
you're
d-
fucking up the Ramones
I've
song.
been trying to tell this guy for fucking.
I
Have you
deliver-
been telling? Fucking tell him some more.
It's like slow
I
it down a little
deliberately
bit.
Oh, you
fuck
don't
'em
like
up.
it when he speeds it up?
Not too much. Not sometimes he goes a little
Because he's
overboard.
being a little bitch.
No,
You
it's
can't
not.
fucking-
It's
you
being
can't keep up
authentic.
sometimes.
You
He's
gotta keep
being
up.
authentic.
You got to keep up. Sometimes you got to push it. Look at a lot of the bands I loved, and I know you love them. GBH, right? They didn't slow down. Vinnie Priest, amazing.
No, but if you went in and fucking did a GBH, you wouldn't speed them up. You would like. I wouldn't go in there and say, "Fuck this! I'm going to change their shit."
slow it
I'd
down.
probably speed it up.
Me personally, I'd slow it down. I'd make that shit like a slow dance.
Look at
song.
that shit.
Yeah, make a
Look
little,
at that
maybe
shit.
make a polka version.
I'm already older, right? I don't have that much longer to live.
Listen.
I got to speed it up. Let's get through
I'm
this.
probably in the best fucking punk cover band in Southern California. That's no debate over that.
Would that be the part-time punks?
Right? We don't fuck around with songs. We
Part-time.
do them the way they're fucking done originally.
And people,
Yeah.
like, you know what? People
Right.
get up and they dance and they love
Because
it.
if I get up and I listen to a Sex Pistols song that someone's going to fucking growl to, fuck you, bitches. You just ruined my fucking song.
Well, the thing about the Ramones is they were slower, faster, slower. So they kind of went through different tempo changes.
So if you speed it up, it's not that big of a deal.
So,
they're used to that.
if you take their song from their recording, their original recording, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna fucking scroll down, right? Seriously, I'm gonna scroll down.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna look. Right, here we go. Right click, hit the play next. I don't know what song we got. Let's see. Fast forward it to the next song. The song's gonna be. It hasn't come up yet.
Waiting.
Right, when it comes up, my
So
question is this.
mysterious.
All right.
Damn.
Yeah, probably the same. Here we go. Lock It Love. Right.
What the fuck song is this?
Exactly.
Rocket Love's from Rocket to Russia, dude.
Yeah, exactly. One of the
Georgie
original
knows.
ones. Well,
Georgie Ramone knows.
this is while you were out shopping with your mum.
It's a classic
She's
album.
an amazing woman, by the way.
Oh, don't
Oh,
I
I
know
didn't
it.
play that fucking song. I'm giving up on that shit right there.
yeah, that song, yeah, you don't want to hear.
That was Needles and Pins.
Phil
Yeah, that's
Spector's
Needles
already
Pins.
planning to shoot somebody at that point.
No, but see, my point is this though.
Wait, what is your fucking point?
That there is no.
There's no point. I think you need to go back to Hogwarts and talk to Professor Slytherin.
I don't want to upset anyone. I'm being too.
That's not very
I'm being
punk, is
nice.
it?
Dutchie, since when do you not want to upset anybody? Since when does that happen?
Upset me, please.
Well, to be honest, I mean, it's like we're not playing like any faster than the Ramones were playing live at the time that they were doing these songs.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I can Marky was.
We're playing live
I can't play
faster than
Marky
the fucking recording, but
Yeah, I can't play
Ramones are
Mark-
playing.
Oh,
fucking-
but that's what the
they're
Ramones do.
blitzing.
So you play the way they would play live, right?
Basically, yeah.
But
but
what
like,
you're saying is he speeds that up as well.
sometimes
I
he does,
try. I try my
and it's
best.
not a bad thing. Sometimes it just keeps me on my toes.
We want to.
Gotta
We
fucking-
want to be able to give anybody who wants to hear the Ramones, who didn't have an opportunity to hear them, want to hear something that's unbelievably authentic. That's it.
Now, I have a
We had our
question.
own flavor.
When the Ramones played live, maybe any of you in this room can answer this. Did they play these rare songs that you guys covered?
Yes.
Some of them
Never.
they did not play.
Yes, they did. The only
Not
one they
until
did not play,
they were losers. Not until they were has-beens,
They
and
did
not
not.
until
Well,
not
the Ramones were never-
seriously.
they were never
They
They were
fucking
never,
didn't.
They were never pop. They were never
They were
successful
never,
in terms
yeah,
of.
they never got the
so
recognition they deserved
never
until they
cared.
died.
All
Find
they-
me a live version of that. I'd love to listen to it.
Absolutely. Lost Weasel Face. They played in Finland. It's
There we go. They
unbelievable.
played it in fucking Finland.
Yeah, Finland's an unbelievable place.
Yeah, you were
time.
close to there, Dutchie.
Back in 1986.
The only song on there that they never performed was "I'm Not Jesus." That's it.
And you know what? When I heard that today, I really liked it. I did really like that song.
I'm not sure if I've ever heard a live version of "We Want the Airwaves" or something like
Yeah,
that.
they did. They played on.
They
some
would
I've
do
heard a
that
live
one
version.
rare.
Yeah, they played on a TV show. It sounded great.
I want you to listen to something. And listen to it. And on New Year's Eve of this year, remember that on New Year's Eve of 1977, I was there.
You bastard.
Now I want us to some blue. Now I want to have something to do. All the kids want us to some blue. All the kids want something to do. What do you do for my deep failure? Now I want us to some blue. Now I want to have something to do. All the kids want us to some blue. All the kids want something to do. Now I want us to some blue. Now I want to have something to do. All the kids want us to some blue. All the kids want something to do.
Well, what do you think of that?
That was a fast song. That's
You
what I thought
got to
about
be
that.
at that show, and I envy you for that.
Wow.
But that was
So
just what we were talking about. You
lucky,
talk about
Dutchie.
speeding things up and then not being played at the same pace. That's what the Ramones did. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't get when the Ramones went through the mid 80s and it was just a noise, a wall of noise. And you said that earlier.
I think,
Was
in
it
my
good?
opinion, they did get a little too fast in that during that.
Yeah, they
era.
did. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
for
when
me.
you walked out, right, Dutchie?
Yeah, that was when I walked out. Yeah.
Well, fuck.
Because sometimes
That
if you get to a certain speed, you lose some of that essence.
Well,
the
if you
essence of
don't,
the
if
song.
you put it this way, if
That's a
you're
good way
if
to
you're
put
a
it.
huge Ramones fan and you don't know what song they're singing,
Yeah.
there's something wrong. I'm just saying.
I don't think we speed it up to the point where it's like how they were that in that era.
He
when,
would.
When we do Commando and shit, we're not playing as fast as like.
Well, I get.
Well,
I'll be honest with you. To play as fast as Marky Ramone played is very difficult.
You know that Russian tribute band I was or cover band or whatever I was talking about with the Stay on Pants. They do that. All of their songs or Ramon songs are really like double time.
Like halftime.
Yeah, double
Yeah,
time.
Hey, we've only. I don't want to interrupt. I'm gonna.
What you going to? You're going to.
We've only got about 5 minutes left.
Oh fuck.
Right, and in that 5 minutes, you have to talk about these two things that are going on with yourself and me
We've
at
got
Chaotic
some,
Radio.
actually, there's a bunch of good stuff going on.
This is some big time news, big time exciting shit. I'm gonna turn it over to you because you did all the hard work.
Okay, well,
for this.
first of all, our show next week, Beautiful Disaster, chaoticradio.com. That's the legendary punk DJ and myself, Cat Monroe. We have a special guest that I just signed on today for next Tuesday, and that's Sin Quirin of Ministry.
Oh, nice.
Is going to be live in studio with us. They just came back from tour, and I just found out today that we are going to be live in studio with Sin Quirin of Ministries. You know,
that's fucking big
Jesus
shit.
built my hot rod. Come on,
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Right?
Ministry.
Right?
Yeah, takes me back. I love him.
yeah. So
Who's
that's
that?
One of my favorite fucking bands. I'm telling you. Can't believe they're in the studio.
you have every single thing of Ministry, right, Dutchie?
Right there, I got it there. What song do you want me to fucking play, dude?
Jesus built my hot rod.
New World Order.
I like that like
right?
new wave
Yeah.
stuff they used to do back in like what the first album was.
What did you say? New Age?
They did a new wave album,
What the
right? In the
fuck?
first
Oh, they did, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They did.
That
You
was
know
a
what?
pretty
The
good
new
album.
wave stuff was pretty good.
Yeah, I like
I saw them at Lollapalooza. I think it was like '92. They're unbelievable.
Yeah,
Bonfires everywhere.
what's that song? My favorite song by Ministry is "Same Old Madness."
that's a good song
That's a
too.
fucking
Yeah,
good
that's a
song.
good song.
That's like one of their demos, I think. Though. I
The
don't know if
Ramones cover that one or no?
your mom covered it.
They were going to, but they were all
She's been
dead when it
everywhere.
came out.
Should I plug this one too?
You have to plug
Okay.
that one, yeah.
And then we have Dutchie and I are going to be honored to be emceeing the entire show of the Nardcore Punk Rock to Walk Me Home, supporting shelters and foster dogs.
Awesome.
This money goes to help maintain local no-kill animal shelters. And it's Saturday, January 6th at the Majestic Ventura Theater. You can get tickets through Salazar's Records, and the show is consisting of TSOL,
Oh,
Yeah.
Ill Repute,
One of my faves.
The Fucking Bastards, Stalag 13, Grim, Boxheads, The Big Problem, and Civil Conflict. And it's just amazing, Dutchie, that you and I are going to be there to
and
MC this entire thing.
TSOL.
Are you sure
Legends.
Are you sure you're invited? What's going on over here?
Look
guys?
at our names.
Well,
Our names on the
You're
flyer.
invited. Cat Monroe, you're
Let me take a look at
very,
that.
very nice person. I can tell. What's happened over here?
And
That's all an
They
act.
invited Dutchie?
you know, I get lucky now and again. You know,
Yes.
Along those lines, you know, we've been doing the show for a while now, Kat.
Like 3
you know?
years almost.
Chaotic Radio's been around for a while. I've been a part of the station for 3 years.
Like 2.5 years you and I have been together for
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
You know, so
You're my buddy.
yeah, we're lucky people.
Yeah.
We got our first shout out on an album this week. didn't
Oh
we?
my God, that too. This
Are you going to
week.
start crying, Dutchie?
No, not now. I already did that.
You already cried. I sent him a message. I said, "Stop crying.
Dutchie
You're a rock
the emo
star."
punk?
It was on the new Drake album.
Let
I
me
think.
know. I'll wipe the tears gently off your face.
You come anywhere near me and I'm going to beat the fuck out of
I'll back you up on that.
you. So the new GBH album, Momentum, came out last Friday. And boom, it came out. And there's a little note on the thank yous from Ross Lomas from GBH saying, thanking me and Kat. So
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Ross thanked us, and we thank you for fucking putting it on the album.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sweet.
So that's that.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
stuff.
it's a great band, GBH. Unbelievable.
Legendary.
Inspirational to
Unbelievable.
you, you're right, because you were saying it was inspirational.
Yeah,
to
I
you.
loved it as a teen. You know, I loved them. I loved. I
That
still
City,
do.
City Baby Attacked by Rats, I think, is still up there for me as one of my favorite punk albums, I would say.
Yeah, unbelievable band. And Vinnie Priest as a drummer is inspirational. I listen
Yeah,
to him
you
all
like
the
the
time.
drummers. Mhm.
Absolutely.
That's
Topper,
good.
Well-
Topper Head and Vinnie Priest. You know what I'm saying? English
Yeah.
drummers. They got it going on.
As we do with every show, we finish the show with a song from the next week's guest.
Yep.
And that begins today. We've never done it
Woohoo!
before.
I'm so excited. I might pee my
Gentlemen,
pants.
thank you so much for coming into the studio.
Our
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Truly
Kat,
appreciate it.
Dutchie.
Fun.
You guys are
All right.
awesome.
We will come out and see you live soon. We will
will
be
enjoy
rocking
that.
and rolling with you. Seriously, Appreciate what you do for the business. Appreciate what you do for the local music scene, because every fucking band matters. It's simple as that.
Chaotic Radio kicks ass.
Chaotic Radio and my band Electric Carlos, 28th at the
Today
Offbeat.
Valentine.